Before they got on the off-road car that Theodore had lent them, Crow offered to drive it to the town, but sadly he doesn't know where the two exactly is. All he knows is that it was once a small town in the desert before it was destroyed 17 years ago, only leaving a handfuls of survivors in its ruins. Crow looks at Miles and sees him focused on driving, but his hands. It's gripping onto the wheels like the wheels owed him money or some shit, all white-knuckled grip. The drive took them about 3 hours and Crow had to kill a few Grims that tried to attack them, and Crow is slightly unnerved at how silent Miles is. Crow feels sorry to Luna and her children if this is what they had to put up with every day of the week, 'cause goddamn. Seriously depressed Miles is scary Miles. Is this why they had so many kids? Because Luna want to cure his depression with fucking? He wouldn't put it past Luna, 'cause as good as a healer she is. She is not a certified doctor or even a psychiatrist. Or even a therapist. In Crow's opinions, Luna's semblance is so good that she doesn't exactly need a lot of medical knowledge to heal injuries, but compared to a doctor, her medical knowledge is lacking. In the distant, Crow can see something that Crow could only interpret as what used to be a town, 'cause goddamn. There's almost nothing there. Just a few ruined buildings covered by sands. There's not even a sign nearby, probably because it was destroyed in that battle years ago. Crow doesn't exactly know about what happened that day. All he knows now is that Miles's father died because of a new species of sentient Grim. A night Grim, that was how Anbar and Miles described them. It can talk. They both said that the night Grim can talk. Crow chalked it up to it being one of Salem's creation, but Ashban's reaction doesn't give him with much hope. Ashban asked him and the others in the inner circle to leave the room, and they did, leaving Ashban and the two injured alone in that room. They can't hear about what they were talking about in the room, but when Ashban came out, it's with a melancholic and knowing look in his eyes. Like he knows something that none of them known. Which is true most if not all of the time. That bastard had lived way too long for anyone could ever fuck eating dreamed off. He probably got secrets on top of secrets on top of secrets. Crow's musing got cut off when the cars stop and Miles get out of the car with Crow following just behind. Crow wanted to say something, but he stopped when he sees that in the distance, that there is a campfire and there is cloaked figure sitting next to it. When they got closer to the figure, Crow is slightly suspicious of it, but Miles walked on ahead before she casually sit down next to it on the log. Anbar. Miles greeted the cloaked figure, who is now revealed as Anbar, the Fall Maiden. Anbar then took off the hood from her head and smiled at Miles. Miles. It's been a while. Crow decided to stand nearby as to not disturb this private moment with his, let's just say, unique personality. Yeah. It's been 17 years now. I think the last time we saw each other was on the hospital bed. Miles then chuckled and Anbar follows suit with a chuckle of her own. Yeah. 17 years. It's been a long 17 years. Anbar then looked at the fire. So how is life, Miles? How is Saffron and Artoria? Life had been good to me, Anbar. I got 8 children now. Miles' words made Anbar's eyes widen before Miles continued speaking. Saffron is doing good too. She is going to become a doctor. And Artoria had joined Atlas Academy to become a hunter or a part of Atlas military. I don't know which one is her plan, but I know that she will succeed in any of them. Anbar then hummed. Tell me about the others. Well, my third oldest is Mordred. She's a Spitfire. Just like me when I was her age. All fire and spirit. Jean. She is gentle and kind and a prodigy too. Most of my children's are prodigies. And then I have the twins, Noir and Blanchard. Their personality is the exact opposite of each other. While Noir is energetic and just so full of life that unfortunately made her the loudest of my children. Blanchard is different. She's quiet. Shy. She preferred to be inside her own room alone and sleeping if not for her twin dragging her outside to play. Miles then tapped his finger on his thigh. And then the youngest. Her name is Olivia. Well, she is like Noir in a way. But she doesn't talk much and is too adventurous for her own good. One time Luna put down Olivia on the ground so she can do the dishes. 6 minutes later when Luna turned back, she found Olivia on top of the fridge. Miles then laughed softly. Miles. As much I love hearing you talk about your children. I only counted 7. Who is the last one? Anbar doesn't need to be a genius to know that there must be a reason that Miles is leaving out one of his children. I know. I was leaving him as the last one. Miles then let out a tired sigh. His name is John. Anbar's eyes widen in slight surprise and her heart starts to ache because she hoped that she misheard about the name. John? Anbar's eyes glistened with tears. No. John. June. Luna named him after my father. Miles then looked at Anbar's and reached out to hold her hand. My father would love him, Anbar. He is everything Dad ever wanted in a son. Miles' eyes is wet with tears and he shake his head to stop himself from crying. Miles. Anbar hold his hand tighter. I failed him as a father, Anbar. God fuck I failed him. Anbar then reach out to pull Miles into a hug. Hey. Come on. Don't cry. You didn't failed anyone, Miles. Anbar pat his back. But I did, Anbar. I failed him. All he ever wanted was to become a hunter. That is his dream. But I took it away. I took it away because whenever I sees him, as see the face of my father, Anbar. Miles' revelation made her eyes widen but she hold him tighter. He looked just like him. I still have pictures of my dad when he was John's age. And God fuck Anbar. It's like looking at the same person. He hold her tighter. I don't want him to die. And because of what I did. One of my daughter hated me and I don't even feel worthy of his forgiveness. Anbar then continued to comfort Miles. Miles. Come on. He forgive you, did he not? Miles nodded at him. Then it's okay then. If he is as good as you say then he would understand why you do what you had done. Anbar then let out a sigh. Is what you did right? No. And yes. What you did is something a parent should had never done to their child. You took away his dreams. But you also did what every parent should had do. You did your best to protect him. She then chuckled and let go of him and pulled away from the hug. I really want to talk more about your children with you, Miles. But unfortunately, I don't think I have much time left. Anbar revealed with a sigh as she sit tiredly. Miles' eyes widen before he wipes his tears. What? What are you talking about? I'm old, Miles. And I lost so many people I cared about in this long 70 years. She then looked at Miles and hold his hand. I'm tired, Miles. I want to rest. I want to see him again. But, no buts, Anbar cut him off. Please. Let me rest, Miles. I had died so many years ago. I'm just staying alive for the past 17 years because I have a responsibility to do so. She then looked to her side and called out to Crow. Kid. Come here. Crow then sighs before he walks over to Anbar. You're the crow that Ashbin sent to watch me these past few years, are you not? Anbar asked Crow with a knowing look in her eyes. Crow wanted to ask about how she knows about his ability to turn into a crow. But he decided not to, considering that she is a 70-year-old maiden. She probably can sense him when he is perched on a tree or some shit. Yeah. Tell the old bastard that he doesn't need to search for the next fall maiden. I already trained her for the past 5 years to shoulder the burden of being one. Both Miles and Crow's eyes widen, Miles because he didn't think about what would happen when a maiden dies cause he is too focused at the fact that Anbar is going to die, and Crow because he didn't expect that Anbar had already prepared a replacement. Hopefully she would tell them about where the new maiden will be. So, where is she then? Crow asked her, in which it resulted in both Miles and Anbar glaring at him. Fuck off, kid. I ain't gonna tell you who she is or where she is. I won't turn her into a prisoner. She then looked back to the campfire. Because that is what I am. A prisoner to Ashbin. Before enough say shit, I know. I know that Ashbin meant well. But it is still wrong at the same time. You can't turn someone into a glorified prisoner just because she is a maiden. She then sighed. So no. I'm not telling you anything. She's strong enough to fight anyone who is trying to hunt her. And she promised me to use the power as sparingly as possible. Well, it's worth a shot. Crow grumbled to himself. Miles then reached out to hold her hand. When? In a few more minutes, Miles. I already drank the potion 10 minutes before you came here. She then held Miles's hand tighter. I miss him, Miles. God. I love him so much that it hurts thinking about him. She then started to cry, and it's not Miles' turn to hug her tight and hold her. Anbar. I never seen him as happy as he was when he was with you. He love you too, Anbar. Miles revealed to Anbar, and she cried harder. Oh, John. You stupid bastard. Why did you had to leave me? She tightened her hold on Miles. I love you. I fucking love you. And you just had to leave me. Why is it you? Why? Miles continued to hold her until she calmed down. Thank you, Miles. Thank you. John would have been proud for you. She then kissed his forehead before her body started to glow orange and flakes away until her body slowly disappeared like golden dust in the winds, leaving Miles and Crow alone on the campfire. Smiley face unspecified currency. Lancel. Can you help me with delivering this to Ozma? A blond young man asked his dearest friend for help as he looked over some papers on his table. You do not need to ask, my king, I will do as you orders. A purple-haired man walked to his king and take the papers. Consider it done. When Lancel opened the door to deliver a paper, back away a few steps cause a brown-haired missile had launched herself into him. Your Highness. The brown-haired missile turns out to be a 11-year-old girl. Lancel. I didn't know it was you. Where is he? She then get off him and start to bounce on her feet, which resulted in Lancel letting out a soft chuckle. Well, Your Highness, if you were to look behind me, you would see that His Majesty is behind me. He then stepped to the side, revealing the king looking at them with a smile. Hello there. There you are. The brown-haired girl then ran up to him and jumped over the table before she crashed onto his body, making him fall of the chair. Ouch! She exclaimed dramatically as if the king hadn't caught her and made sure that it's his body that hit the ground. That hurt. She started to pummel her fist at his chest. Okay. Okay. My fault. He then carry her and stand up, but just as he tried to put her down on the floor, she shakes her head and start to squirm. No. I want you to carry me. She then squeals in excitement when follow her request and princess carry her. Is this okay, Fall? The young man asked her as he walked to the balcony with her in his arms. Hey. I heard that you are planning to get married soon. She pouted at him, which resulted in him chuckling. Yeah. I guess I am. And why are you pouting? I thought you would be happy. He asked her and she answers him by shaking her head. No. Why would I be happy that my big brother will marry some strange princess from God knows where? She pout even harder. Some strange princess. Well, I guess I should tell her that next time you practice magic with her then. Let's see what she have to say then. He revealed a hint to her in which she instantly locked onto, and after a few seconds her eyes lit up with magic as elemental flare lit up on the corner of her eyes. Wait! 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 You're marrying her. The Witch of the Tower herself. And when he nodded she got extremely excited. Yay! My brother is marrying the strongest witch in the world. Woo! After a few seconds she calmed down and looked up at him nervously. You won't leave me or the others, right? She asked him softly as if she fears what his answer would be. No, of course not. Why would you think like that? I would never leave you. All four of you are my little sisters. Mom and Dad promised me to never leave you girls. He then chuckled. And you know me. Whenever I give my word, you would never take it back, she continued it for him. Have I ever tell you about how much I love all of you? He asked her and kissed her forehead. Of course. You practically tell that to us every day. Well, I didn't think I say it enough then. He then hummed and looked onto his kingdom. I also love all of them too, you know. Each one of them. They are my people. My love. My banner will protect them. My sword will fight for them. And my scabbard will be their safe haven. Fall nodded and looked out at the view of their kingdom. I know. All of them know that you are the best king they could have ever asked for. And you're the best big brother I could ask for. John. John wake up with a gasp as it feels like his heart had been stabbed. Asterisk gasp asterisk what is happening? He grit his teeth as his hold his chest in pain and roll out of the bed and fall to the floor. He then tried to manually activate his aura and it activated but it doesn't help with the pain. His heart hurts so much that he wants to cry out in pain. Someone is dying. He doesn't know who but someone is dying. And it's hurting him. It hurts. My heart. It hurts. Help. Mordred. Chapter 32. It's been a day since Miles had to go away for his mission when Luna got a call from him early in the morning about how he is going home today. She should be happy that Miles is coming home early. She should. But she couldn't bring herself to be happy when she heard his voice. The last time his voice sounded like that was 2 nights ago when he revealed to her about the real reason of why he stopped John's training. She have a big feeling that she would had to arrange another family trip to try and cheer up Miles. Yesterday picnic trip was supposed to cheer up Miles but unfortunately Ashbin is being a bastard and just had to ruin her plan. Why does he need Miles to search for a missing maiden for? Doesn't he have his own people to do that? Miles may be close to Anbar but it's almost been 17 years since they last saw each other. Miles wouldn't magically know about where Anbar would be just because they were close years ago. Asterisk sigh asterisk, Luna let out a sigh before she pick up her scroll and open it to see today's date cause she want to arrange a trip to the beach to take Miles' mind off whatever had happened on his mission. When she looked at today's date, her eyes widened before she put the scroll down. That explains a lot of things. What it explain, you may ask? Today is John's death anniversary. Miles is always depressed at this time of the year. Not that she can blame him, having to hold on to your father as he died could make anyone depressed. She should know that there is something more going on when Miles stopped John's training but now it's in the past. If she can slap her past self then she would. Thankfully after that day, John never bring up anything about becoming a hunter again. When usually that was all he would ever talk about. How he want to be a great hunter just like his dad. And his dad's dad. Which doesn't help with Miles' trauma. She herself can attest that after the death of his father, it took Miles about 7 to 8 months before he got a little better. And that is only because of Artoria being born and he had to slap himself awake because he now have another child to take care of. As for Saffron, Well, in those months that he was depressed, he tried his best with Saffron. But she can tell that he isn't his usual self. Thankfully, by the time that she was pregnant with Mordred, he had come back to his usual self. So, planning on arranging a trip. How would she do that today? She probably gonna look at the schedule of her kids first, Saffron most importantly. She doesn't want Saffron to fail an exam because the day that she was out of school was the day where an exam took place or an important subject was being distributed by the teachers. Yesterday Luna was lucky because Saffron's school was flooded cause one of the student there had pulled the fire alarm and unfortunately broke most of the appliance there. They give the students a day off. She opened her scroll again and looked at the day and thankfully, it is Thursday. Miles probably need a whole day to relax at home after this mission and on Saturday they can go to the beach. Speaking of beaches. The kids thankfully also love swimming. Well, not Mordred. If it's snorkeling then she can do it, but if she is floating on top of the water and the wave is slightly too strong for her, well, the whole ocean gonna be in range from what Mordred liked to call her splash zone. She wonder how Mordred would fare in her future career as a hunter. She gotta fight on a vehicle someday. Luna herself had experienced fighting on top of a moving vehicle. Well, now that she thinks about it, Mordred could probably win that kind of fight by vomiting on the Grims. Speaking of Grims, it's been a while since she last saw any. I think the last time she saw a Grim was almost a half-decade ago when Mountain Glen fell and she had to volunteer as a healer. It was the first and hopefully the last time she had seen so many corpses left behind. That is a tragedy. A massacre. No other word to say about it. She had used her semblance hundreds of times and had depleted her aura at least more than a dozen in the span of 5 days. 5 days of running with only caffeine or energy drinks. Thankfully Saffron and Artoria was old enough to take care of their siblings and the people in the town was kind enough to help the kids with anything they needed. She have a feelings it was John's doing. Cause from what she knows, out of all of her children, the only one who help around the town is only John and Mordred if he dragged her. Luna once asked him about why does he do what he had done. Because they are basically strangers to him and he was a child. Shouldn't he be playing video games with Mordred or play with his friends? Smiley face unspecified currency. Luna watch from the porch as her husband mow the lawn and the rest of the children are playing with each other or just simply minding their own business. Saffron. Where is your brother? She asked Saffron, who is currently also on the porch snacking on some fruits. John? The last time I saw him was 2 hours ago. He was with Artoria. Saffron replied back to her mother. Is there something wrong? Luna shakes her head. No. There isn't anything wrong. I'm just looking for your brother. That's all. She then roamed her eyes and looked for Artoria until she found her, who is currently looking over her younger sisters as they play near a tree. Artoria. Come here for a second. She called out to her and Artoria nodded at her before she say something to Jean and the twins and walk up to her. What is it, mother? Artoria asked her in her usual disciplined personality, which Luna have no idea where it came from. Maybe it's from her parents? 'Cause neither Miles or his parents are disciplined. But she couldn't say for sure if Artoria's personality comes from Luna's parents, considering that she is an orphan, while tilting her head to the side, and Luna would say that the strand of hair that jutted out of her head is really cute. She sometimes wonder about the reason of why does it sometimes twitches. It could be because her control over her aura isn't up to par. Well, she can chalk it up as one of the wonder of the world. She shakes her head to clear her thoughts away before she looked back to Artoria. Had you seen your brother? Artoria's lone strand of hair twitches and before she shakes her head. No. When was the last time you had seen him? She inquired her own daughter. John was with Mordred 2 hours ago after he talked to me asking if I want to join him to go to town. Artoria answered her, in which it made Luna let out a sigh. That child of mine. Well, if you sees him later, can you tell your little brother that I want to talk to him about something? Artoria nodded at her before she walks back to Jean and the twins. 3 hours had passed, and just right before she starts to make dinner, she can hear the sound of Mordred talking loudly. And if Mordred is there, then there is a good chance that John is also there. She don't know how, but for the past year, John and Mordred had been really close with each other. Not that she is complaining, their personality bounce of each other really well. When John and Mordred come to the kitchen, Mordred whispered something to John before he nodded, and she then go upstairs to her room most likely. Mom. Artoria told me that you were looking for me. John smiled brightly and jogged to her. I guess I was. She pondered coyly. And why would a mother is searching for the whereabouts of her son? I wonder why. She smirked before she ruffles John's hair. Come on, let's help me make dinner for you and the others. She doesn't exactly need John's help. But it's a good way for her and her son to bond with each other. It's also helped that surprisingly, John is responsible enough for her to trust him to not cut his own hands off. Not that she let him use a knife, he usually helps with mixing stuff and things that doesn't involve any blades or fire. As they both are making dinner, Luna looks at John before she open her mouth to ask him somethings. John. You never told me why you always helps around the town. You do know that you don't need to do that, right? She glanced at him and sees that he is still smiling as usual. Why? Well, I always have this feelings in my heart, like I want to help them. Like I must do it. And I enjoy it too. He then let out a hummed. And I guess strangers are just friends you haven't met yet, right? Smiley face unspecified currency. Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. That's child of mine is something special. He would be a heartbreakers when he grows up, that I can bet on. She let out a chuckle before she get off her bed, planning go to the kitchen and prepare breakfast before the kids wake up. But she wouldn't say no to John if he wants to help her. Nowadays, if she were to be sick or is away, which is never, she couldn't go away for a day or two without being worried about her kids. She could trust John to make the meals with a bit of help from Saffron. When she arrives at the kitchen, she starts to take out a couple boxes of pancake mix, eggs, bacon, cause Mordred loves them. It's not an elaborate breakfast, but it'll make do, and also it's not like any of her children is a picky eater. Thank God for that, cause if all 7 of her children eat her, then she doesn't know if she could survive. Imagine making 7 different meals each time food is served. After 20 minutes, a Saffron had come down with Olivia and walk up to her. Mom. Saffron let out a yawn. Good morning, Mom. She greet her mother and put Olivia down on her chair. Good morning, Mama. Good morning to you too, Saffron, Olivia. She then start to plate the food on the table as the rest of her children trickled in with a good morning of their own. Except for John. Which is weird. It's weird enough that he didn't come down and helped her. And it's weirder that he isn't here now to eat. Well, maybe he is just tired, which is understandable. Yesterday at the park, John had played anything that her daughters had asked him to play, from freeze tag to even climbing a tree, cause Nor kicked the ball way too hard and get it stuck up there. As the rest of her kids starts to eat, Jean look around before she look at Luna. Mom, did John already ate? Why isn't he here? Luna shakes her head no. No, I have a feeling that maybe John is a little tired from yesterday. How about one of you wake him up? Mordred, who is silent the whole time, quickly shovel a few pieces of bacon into her mouth before she stands up. Don't worry, Mom, I'll drag his ass back here. She then leave before any of them could reply back to her. When Mordred goes upstairs and reach John's door, she doesn't even bother to knock because his room is basically her room now, with how many times she had come and stay until late at night to get tutored by John. Which she hate. She's the big sister, for fuck's sake. It's supposed to be the other way round. When she get inside his room, it took everything she had to stop herself screaming for their mother because John curled is on the floor with sweat all over his body and is holding onto his chest in pain. John. Chap 33. John. Mordred ran up to John's curled body and picked him up. Shit. We gotta go to Mom. Right now Mordred is panicking like hell, because she never seen John this hurt before. Not even injuries that he got when he unlocked his aura had managed to make him this in pain. But before she can take a step to the door, she stopped as she heard John's soft pained whisper. Mordred. No. Not. Mom. It took a lot of John's strength to even whisper those words. Mordred turned her head to John and glared at him. The fuck do you meant by not Mom? You're fucking hurting, you stupid blonde fuck. She thinks that John is being ridiculous now, 'cause what he need is Mom to heal him from whatever the fuck is causing him pain. John shakes his head at her. No. Aura. Don't. Work. As if to prove a point, he activated his aura. The fuck does he meant by aura is not working? If aura doesn't work, then Mom's semblance won't work either. Shit. From what John told me years ago, Mom's semblance works by pushing her aura into another person's body and using her aura to heal the person. The effect of her aura heal could be said to be 10 times better than if you use your own aura. She could even reattach a limb depending on how long it had been detached for. So how the fuck does he meant by aura is not working? Mordred right now is even more panicked than before, 'cause if aura really does not work, then what will? Mordred then slowly and gently put John on top of his bed. Shit. What the fuck happened, John? Her eyes then widen as she remembers something. Had you used your aura thingy? The one that you used before you used reinforcement? How the fuck does she forgot about that technique thingy? That should give answers about what happened to John, and maybe that's why John doesn't want Mom to heal him. It's 'cause he already know the cause for all of this shit. Yeah. Structural. Analysis. John let out a tired breath. Water. On. Table. Mordred quickly grabbed the glass of water on top of his table. It's probably for whenever he is thirsty made at night and are too lazy to go down and get himself one. That's fucking smart. Here, drink it. After that you're telling me about what you find out. She then gently lifted John's head and slowly tipped the glass into his mouth until he finished it. Now fess up, or I'm putting you in a chokehold. She glared at him not out of anger but out of worry, 'cause who can blame her? Imagine you are trying to just wake up your brother from breakfast and found him curled up on the ground holding his chest in pain. The same brother that can fake not having a broken arm at 9 fucking years old. There is nothing. Nothing is wrong. John's answer surprised her by a fuck ton, 'cause what did he meant by nothing? This is clearly not nothing. John. You better explain before I throw you out of the window. Mordred can feel her hands shaking. Not out of anger, but out of fear. She doesn't like seeing John like this. Stop shaking, you stupid fuck. Don't let him see you scared. You're supposed to be strong, not weak. Stop fucking shaking. No matter how hard she tried to stop shaking, she can't. Her body just won't do as she told. Please, God damn it. Stop it. Her eyes starts to glisten with tears, which John quickly noticed. Mordred. John softly called out, and Mordred's body stiffened. Don't cry. Mordred wanted to shout to John that she isn't crying, but all that came out of her is a choked whimpers. John, seeing his sister crying, couldn't just lay down anymore. He then tried his best to sit up. Come here. It's okay. Mordred's wall starts to crumble before she shot herself at John and hugged him. I thought you were dying, you asshole. She started to cry on his shoulders. You weren't this hurt back then. What the fuck happened? Did you go out alone again? Why didn't you tell me? While she cried even harder on his shoulder, John's heart felt like it's going to break on too. He doesn't know if it's just his imagination, but his heart hurt even more when he sees Mordred crying. He always hated it whenever he made Mordred cried. And he had make her cried more time than he want to. The last time she cried like this was when they had their first fight after he had unlocked his aura. But this time it's not his fault, he didn't do anything dangerous last night. He didn't even train last night 'cause he was studying. He doesn't know what to say to Mordred other than that he really didn't do anything and that he doesn't even know what had happened to him. Shoo, shoo. It's okay, Mordred, he pat his back. And I promise you, Mordred, I didn't go out last night. All I had done was have a little study lessons. And that's it. She let out a sniffle and pulled back from John. Then how? You're hurt, John. So how? John let out a sigh before he shakes his head. I don't know. I woke up after having a weird dream. And suddenly my heart feels like it's being stabbed. Mordred tilted her head at him. Another weird dream? Is it the same like the one you told me about? John had told her about his weird dream. The blonde girl and the brown-haired man? She then wipes the tear away from her eyes. John nodded. Yeah. But this one is a bit different. In the dream I was talking to a purple-haired man who also used a purple-colored armor. And there was this girl. I couldn't remember her name because I was too busy on the ground in pain. But she jumped at me. And I don't know why. I know that she said my name. After that I immediately woke up and my heart feels like it's been stabbed. That's weird. You got any inkling on why? Not why you have those weird-ass dreams. All dreams are weird. Last night I was dreaming of something. She had dreamt becoming a seal and was swimming in the ocean. Yeah. Something indeed. But what I meant is that do you have any hunch on why your heart feels like that? John nodded. Yeah. I don't know how or why. But I know that someone had died. That's why it hurts me. Don't know who. But someone that died. Shit. You sure? John nodded at her. Well, double shit. Then. So. Why were you here? John asked her 'cause frankly, he is too tired to ask any other questions. Well. Mom asked me to wake you up for breakfast. Damn. Now that I think about it. This is basically what happened back then too when I found you the morning you unlocked your aura. But this time it's your heart that got hurt, not your whole body. Mordred let out a chuckle. Can you stand? Or do I need to tell to Mom that you're just sleepy? She stand up and look at him. John shakes his head. No, no need. I'll go down and eat breakfast. You being here made it hurt less. John then let out a tired sigh before he tried his best to stand up. It's a little wobbly, but he is indeed standing up. Come on, let's not worry the others. Mordred got a tick mark on her forehead. If you're not hurt, I would have smacked you on the back of your head for scaring me. I thought you were dying, you dumbass. Chapter 34. Breakfast was painful for Mordred to watch. 'Cause even if he didn't scream out in pain, Mordred knows that John is fucking hurting right now. Thankfully by the time Mordred and John arrive at the kitchen, most of them had almost finished eating their food, so it meant that John only need to eat for a few minutes to fill his stomach just enough to not worry the others. This kid. Mordred shakes her head as she take a bite out of her bacon when she hears Jean talks to their mother. So Mom, did Dad tell you about when he would get back? She asked her mother while she drank a glass of apple juice. Their mother nodded and answered her. Yeah, he told me that he would be back today. So most likely he'll be back at noon at the latest. Saffron raised an eyebrow at her mother in slight surprise. Even Mordred is slightly surprised at this turn of event, 'cause how? Whenever their father goes on to an emergency mission like this, it would take at least a few days before he comes back home. It's not even a full 24 hours before their mother got the news that their father would be back. This is weird. Did Dad got injured? Saffron asked Luna, and even then she couldn't try to believe that words that came out of her mouth. Miles being injured? That's almost impossible to think of. In her eyes, and she would also bet money that in her siblings' eyes too, that their father is as close as invincible as people could get. He is an S-rank hunter. Saffron doesn't even think that anyone could beat her father, let alone injure him. Well, she's not stupid enough to think that her father is immortal. But with his large aura reserve, experience and skills, it would take a lot to kill him. Before any of her other children could chime in, Luna answered her. No. He isn't hurt. It's just that he got lucky and managed to finish his mission really fast. No need to worry about your father, children. He is just fine. Yay! Dad's coming home. Noir shouted in excitement, and the rest of the children also say some words of agreement, well, except from John and Mordred, of course. John 'cause he is still trying to not show any sign of hurting, and Mordred 'cause she's busy shoveling food into her mouth. Well, thank God for that nothing bad happened to Miles, 'cause if Mordred found out that Miles was injured, God knows what she would do. Probably egged him on and say about how if he didn't stop John's training then he wouldn't get hurt. She's petty like that and isn't ashamed for it. In her mind it's Miles' fault for her pettiness. But under all of the sharp, prickly, venomous, burning interior, Mordred still care. Well, she would care more about John than Miles obviously, but she still cared in her own ways. Miles is still her father, for God's sake. As much as she is angry at him, she can't just completely hate her father. But if she had to choose between saving John's life or her father's, she would choose to save John every single time. John is her little brother. She won't abandon him for anything in the world, even if the world decided to someday hunt John. Then she will be by his side and fight everyone if she have to. What can she say except that she is the great Mordred Ark, destroyer of bacon and kicker of asses? Mom. After we eat, John and I are going out. We plan to do some shits, okay? Mordred tell her mother about that, even though she never made any plans to go out today. Jean raised an eyebrow at Mordred. Where are you going? She asked Mordred, but it only managed to make Mordred angry. It's none of your fucking business, you blonde fucktard. She slammed her hand and pointed at Jean. Mordred. You're blonde too. Saffron reminded Mordred, which made Mordred's mouth start to bubble like a rabid dog. The fuck did you say to me, you nerdy shit? You wanna fight? As the table turned into chaos, John is on his seat just trying to endure the pain, but is also extremely fucking confused cause. What plans? Did he plan to go out today with Mordred? Did he forgot about it? Is this a side effect from whatever happened to my heart? What is happening? Did I got amnesia? Oh no. While John is wallowing in his own despair, Mordred let out a tired breath after having a shouting match which she totally win. Nah, she lost. Luna told her to be quiet. She then looked at John and sees his plate is empty, so she take this chance to stand up and grab his hand. We're leaving. We'll be back before dinner. Smiley face unspecified currency. When worried Mordred and the confused John are out of the house and are out of sight from anyone, Mordred then kneel on the ground and give John her back. Come on, get on. She then motioned John to hurry up and get on her back, cause the others could come and ask them at any moment if they become curious enough and follow them. John looked at her in silence for a few moments before he let out a chuckled. A piggyback ride? Why? Bitch, just shut the fuck up, I don't want you to keel over and die. She grumbled. Just fucking get on. John wanted to laugh but his heart hurt too much for it, so he just plopped down on her back and let her carry him. Just don't fucking move. So you don't hurt your stupid ass heart, okay? She tell John, and she can feel him nodding onto her shoulder. As they walk to the forest, she can feel John shakes a little. You okay? 'Cause if he didn't. Shit. She don't know what to do. Or don't work on whatever the fuck is hurting him. Why can't this just happen to her and not him? She hate knowing that John is hurting and she can't do anything. It hurt a little. John answers her, but Mordred know that is bullshit. Hurts a little. John broke his arm and faked it not being broken for 2 whole weeks until it heals in a household with a retired hunter/healer and a rank-ass hunter. She won't be surprised if the pain is enough to make her bedridden. She want to call out to him, playing down his pain. But she knows that he just want her to not get worry about him. Fuck. He really is the sweetest brother she could have ever asked for. Just tell me if it hurt too much, okay? I'll stop and let you rest and take a few breaths. Shit, she wanted to cry again now, but she won't cry again in front of him. She won't let him see her weak again. She won't. Her eyes start to glisten with tears. Shit. Mordred, he called out to her, and she turned her head a little to see his face. Yeah. Whatever he is trying to say to her, Mordred will do her best to listen to it. Did we really plan to go out today? If so, then I'm sorry. I think I forgot about it. John whispered to her, and she can feel her heart breaks at the tone of his voice. Fuck. Is this what's eating him up? Not the fact that he is in pain, but at the fact that she told their mother that they not planned to go out today? John, she called out to him. That was a lie that I told Mom. I want you to not fake being not in pain. But you can't do that while you're in the house. The others will either ask your help for something or the brats want to play with you. Oh. I really thought I forgot one of my promises to you. He tell her softly, and fuck. He may try to hide it again, but shit. She can hear the pain in his voice. Come on, save your breath. Wait until we reach the spot before you talk again. That's an order from the great Mordred Ark. She ordered him and continued to walk through the forest. As they walk through the forest, Mordred can feel John's faint breath on her ear. She'll do anything to take away his pain, god damn it. Mordred. John called out to her again. Yeah. She answered him as tears wet her eyes again. Thank you, she can feel the sincerity in his voice, and it only hurt her heart more. No need to thank me, John. I'm just doing what I was supposed to do. As your sniffle big sister, she starts to sniffles. Come on. Just wait for 20 more minutes. We'll reach the spot soon. She tell him because she doesn't know what to do anymore. This isn't something she can fight. That's what she know what to do best. Fight. But fighting is useless now. After 20 minutes she finally reached the spot. Shit. You sure you're okay if you got wet a little, John? When she feel John nod, Mordred then jumped straight through the waterfall and land on the cave entrance. Wait a second, John, let me make it more comfortable. Mordred gently put John down beside a rock before she quickly grabbed some of the spare clothes that they stored here and roll it up into a makeshift pillow and put it next to John. She then grabbed John's body and lay him down on the ground. You're comfortable? Yeah. Thank you. Again. John let out a tired sigh because his heart hurt so much. The pain is slowly decreasing, but it still feels like his heart is being stabbed by knives. We'll stay here for as long as you need, John. I told Mom to expect us to come home before dinner. We still got like 10 more hours. Mordred then sit next to John and hold his hand. For now. Just sleep again, John. I'll be here. Don't worry. John nodded and closed his eyes, but after a few minutes of silence, John opened his mouth again. I'll miss you so much, Mordred. He tightened his grip on her hand. Hey John. I'll miss you too, you dumbass. But don't worry. After you graduate from Shade, you can team up with me. She smiled at him and trying to not let him see just how much it'll hurt her when he leave in 2 months. We can be the ARC duo. It'll just be the two of us. And with us being pro-hunter, no one can say shit to us. We'll just kick their asses and take names. Oh God. Just how much it hurt her heart to know that John had to run away to pursue his dream. Right now Mordred want to curse their father and just say a lot of not good shit about him in front of John. But she can't. She knows that John don't like it that she is angry at their father. But who could blame her? Their father is a stupid asshole who only think about what he wants. What about John? What about what he wants? Does he have no right? If their father didn't basically make sure that John won't get a chance to join Beacon, she would at least have 2 years with John with Beacon cause she'll be in her 3rd or 4th year. And if John got into Beacon a year early, well they could get 3 years. But that blonde fucker just had to ruin it. Yeah. We'll be the best. Isn't that right, Mordred? But what about your teammates? John asked her, which is some good damn question. What about her teammates? Well, fortunately Mordred got the right and where for that. What about them? Who the fuck cares about them? I'll be so strong that I don't need them. It'll just be us two against the world, John. You're the only one I trust with my back, John. She answered him with her chin raised up high, cause why would she trust some goddamn strangers to watch her back? Cause she know damn well that the only person she can trust is John. And she knows that John trusts her with his back too. She couldn't help but be really happy that day years ago, she decided to drag John and train him in secret only to find out that he had been doing it in secret too before she even dragged him. Thank you, Mordred. Thank you. Hey. The fuck did I say about you thanking me, huh? Do I need to repeat myself and say that I'm only doing what I do cause it's my job as your best big sister? Hey, fuck that. I am the best sister in the whole world, John. Me. The great Mordred Ark. She pounded her fist onto her chest and it manages to make John laugh softly. Yeah. You're the best, Mordred. The best I could have ever asked for, Chappie 35. It's about 3 in the evening when Miles finally reached the front door of his home. Come on, Miles. You can talk about your problems later. Now. Just act normal. You don't want to worry your children with your problems. He let out a sigh and rested his forehead on the door. Pull yourself together, Miles. Don't let them seize anything wrong, you stupid bastard. He then pulled away from the door and raised his fist. Here goes nothing. Miles then start to knock the door loud enough for at least one of his children to hear it. Miles secretly hoped that it is Luna that will open the door. But he's not stupid enough to think like that. After a few more seconds, he knocked the door again before he heard the sound of footsteps coming from the door. When the door opened, it revealed that it was Saffron who had answered his knocking. Dad. You're back. He then took a step back as Saffron hugged her. You're okay? Mom said that you got lucky that the missions finished fast. But you don't look okay. Shit. He need to put on his stoic mask much better than it currently is. It's bad enough that Saffron is the one who suspected that something is eating up his mind. But at least it wasn't Noir. He don't think that he could handle her crying right now. Everything is okay. Come on, Miles. Think up of some excuses. Don't let her suspect any more shit. It's just that. I just remember that today is your grandpa's. His words made his daughter's eyes widen before she hugged him tighter. I'm sorry, Dad. I forgot that today is Grandpa's anniversary. Her voice is muffled because her face is on his chest and he pat her back. It's okay. It's not like your mom or I put it on the calendar now, did we? He tried to joke and thankfully it managed to bring out a chuckle out of his oldest child. Out of all of his children, Saffron is the only one who had ever met John. She have a couple of years' worth of memories about her grandpa. He wonders sometimes about if she even remember her time with her grandpa. If she did, then how much does she remember? But he won't blame her if she forgot about it. He himself can't remember about what he had seen when he was only 2 years old, so he won't blame her if she forgot about her grandpa. It's only expected. It's been so long ago. Come on, let's go inside. You can tell me all about your trip to the park yesterday. Saffron then nodded before they walk inside. Well, yesterday at the park, it was pretty fun. Mordred was holding her vomit on the car ride and John had to massage her. Miles's heart feels like something had stabbed it at the mention of John, but he stays silent, letting his oldest child talks about their day yesterday as she guides him to the living room. Poor John had to be left behind because he is busy helping Mordred vomit her guts out when we finally arrived at the park. I think the trash can was full of her vomit by the end of it. Saffron chuckled and they reached the living room where Luna is folding some laundry. Mom, Dad's home. Saffron told Luna as Miles walked to Luna and hugged her. You're home, dear, she pat his back and whispered in his ear. Do you want to talk about it? Miles shakes his head before he whispered back to her. Not now. We can talk about it later. He then tightened his hug on her before he pulled away. Where's the others? He asked Luna before he sit on the couch. Saffron was the one who answered him while Luna continued to fold the laundry. Well, Jean is sleeping with Olivia in her room. Noir was with Blanchard. I think they are playing. I don't know for sure, Dad. You know what kind of weird games Noir always comes up with. What about Mordred and John? He asked Saffron because he really need to ask Mordred a few things about John. He want to go out with John today, but it's pretty late in the evenings for them to spend enough quality time together. It is now Luna that answered him. Mordred and John is out like usual. You know those two. Basically bonded at the hips. If I didn't know any better, I would say that they both are twins. Luna let out a chuckle and Saffron nodded. Yeah, at breakfast Mordred told Mom that she and John had some plans for them today. While Saffron told him that, Miles starts to help Luna with the laundry by folding it too. Well, I'm going to my room, okay? See ya. Saffron announced to her parents before she walked to the stairs and go up to her room. After a couple seconds of silence, Miles looked up at Luna and asked her a question about John and Mordred. Do they say about where they are going? Any location? 'Cause if they do tell about where they are going, Miles wanted to pick them up. He have a lot to make up for and he thinks that picking John and Mordred up from where they are could be a good start to try and fix his relationship with them. Especially John. He need to do so much good for that boy. He doesn't deserve a son like John. John deserve a much better father than what he have now. Luna, as if sensing Miles being lost in his thoughts, she put her hand on his knee and lightly shake it. Hey! Get out of that spiral you're slipping on, Miles. I lived with you longer than I had been living without you. I know what you're thinking now. And yes. You fucked up big time. But you're trying to fix it, right? She asked him and Miles feels stupid because of course she would know about what is going on in his minds. Yeah. I'm trying to fix it. But I don't know if I am good enough to fix it, Luna. He let out a sigh and palmed his face. He deserve better than me, Luna. My dad would kill me if he know about what I did. His mask crumpled at the presence of his wife. Because why wouldn't it crumple? His wife is the only one he could truly be himself with. She's the only one who knows him at his worst. And at his best. He sometimes felt that he is the luckiest man alive to had met her in Beacon. Because he don't think that any other woman would be the one other than her. Luna let out a chuckle. Does John deserve a better father rather than the one you had been for him? Yes. He does. Her words cut him deep, but he knows what she's about to do. She always does this. First she break a person down and she brings them up. So. Be the father that John deserved then. I know what you're about to think and I agree with you. John wanted you to train him again. He may not say it. Or even hint it. But I gave birth to that boy myself, Miles. The closest to him now may be Mordred. But I am the one who hold him in my arms first, Miles. Luna then squeezes his thigh. You know that I can't do that, Luna. He let out another tired sigh. I can't train him. But you can train your daughter. Luna raised an eyebrow and indeed. It is one of the things that baffled her the most. Miles can train his daughters but not his son. He is a little too overprotective of John. The others. They can handle the life of a hunter, Luna. Even Jean, as kind as she is, she knows when to stop being kind. He then looked at her. Had you ever seen John being angry? Or not? Kind in one way or another. That boy is like a goddamned ray of sunshine. He won't be able to handle the life we lead, Luna. He will break if he goes on this path. Luna stays silent before she sighs too. You think I'm blind, Miles? I know that son of ours is too kind. Too loving. It'll hurt him someday. But that doesn't mean that you should stop him, Miles. Let him learn for himself. And we'll be there to catch him if he falls. Isn't that what the job of a parent is? To be their children's safety net? Luna really hoped that she could change his minds. But she knows that it's a futile effort. John having a too good of a heart of a hunter is not the main problem. The problem is that John remind Miles of his father. You know I can't, Luna. You know, he let out a sigh and rubbed his face with his palm. The more John get older, the more he looks like him. I cannot bury him too, Luna. Please. Don't make me do this. Luna looks at Miles before she sigh and pat his knee. Okay. I won't push you again. But you need to be a better father to him. You failed him the most, Miles. Luna then pull away before she continues to fold the laundry. As for where are Mordred and John? Well, Mordred didn't tell me or any of her sister about where they are going. You know Mordred, she then let out a soft chuckle and looked at Miles. She takes after you, you know. She's basically a female version at you. That managed to put a small smile on his face. Yeah. I guess she do. Sometimes I wonder about just how did Mordred and John become so close. Did you remember about how those two were before? You know. That day? She looked into his eyes and she then let out a sigh as she sees that her words didn't put down Miles's moods again. There is never a single day where Mordred or John never go out with only the two of them. Whenever one goes out, the other will go out too. I wouldn't be surprised if Mordred skipped some of her class to meet up with John. Yeah. Back then. John was basically attached to Saffron's hips. He always asked her to dance every day. But now, he look at his hands and sigh again. He sometimes thinks that he didn't only manage to took away John's dream to become a hunter, but also John's love for dancing. He hadn't seen John dance at all since that day. Luna continued for Miles. Now John never danced anymore. I asked Saffron, you know. If John asked her to dance or what not, she then stay silent before she continue herself. But Saffron told me that no. She told me that the last time John had danced with her was the day before you. You did what you did. I fucked up. Yes, you did. I need to be better. That too. Can I get a kiss? Miles looked up and smirked at Luna, which resulted in Luna throwing a shirt at his face. No, you dummy. Luna let out an amused smirk. Luna wanted to ask Miles about what had happened to him on the mission. But she let her curiosity go for now. She could ask him about it tomorrow after he relaxed today. Sometimes she wondered about what younger her would think of the present. The first time Luna and Miles met. It wasn't pretty to say the least. Luna had to beat Miles's ass quite a few times because of just how much danger he brings the team into. But slowly and surely, they both fall in love. Well, that's a thought for another day because today, she got some work to do. Chappie 36 She didn't deserve a brother as good as John. That was what Mordred thought to herself as she looked at her brother trying to act everything is fine as they walk together even though she knows that his heart is still hurting him. You sure you're okay now, John? Mordred asked her little brother as they walk through the forest. It's been like almost 10 hours that they had been in the spot. Most of the time was spent with John sleeping and Mordred taking care of him for like water and food. They got some snacks and drinks stored inside the cave, but sadly nothing that could fill a stomach like a full-on meal. She offered John to quickly go to the town and buy a meal or two, but John refused by saying how he isn't that hungry. She knows deep down that John just doesn't want her to leave. And he said refuse, didn't he? She would be a bad fucking sister if she left her little brother when he needed her the most. Especially if he asked her to not leave him. Yeah. I'm fine now. It doesn't hurt that much anymore. John gave her his usual kind smile, but she wanted to punch him for it because she can see that he is forcing that smile. Not like the usual. That meant that he is still hurting and he is just saying this so she feel better about herself and not be worried for him. Fuck him. Fuck him for being the kindest little brother she could ever had. Fuck him. Why the fuck would he do this for her? He should be more selfish for once in his entire goddamned life. Okay. But I will only believe you if you agree with me. She will make sure that John will be fine tonight cause for all she knows, whatever happened this morning could happen again to him. Okay, I will agree with whatever you want to say, Mordred. He nodded at her. Tonight. I will sleep in your room, she gave him her ultimatum. John raised an eyebrow at her. Why? Why? I know you're dumb, John. But not this dumb, she then let out a sigh. Why? Well, because for all I know. You could have another heart attack, you stupid fuck. She couldn't believe the dumbassity of this brat. What he meant by why? Is he dumb? Or is he just plain stupid? Her hunch is feeling that he is both cause fucking hell. Is it that hard for him to know that she is fucking worried? Oh. Well. Okay then. John then scratched the back of his head, but to her it looks like he is just agreeing to her for her sake rather than the sake of his own health. This kid will be the death of her. Literally. Most likely from a heart attack of her own. Or even more likely because of a brain aneurysm just from how much stress he gave her. But she wouldn't trade him for the world. 'Cause why would she do that? She loved him too much for that could ever cross her mind. Mordred. Do you think that Dad would be home by now? John asked her, and it made Mordred start to think about it. That would be true. Mom said that Dad would be home at noon or something at the latest. So that would mean that Dad could very well be home by now. Deep in her heart, Mordred hoped that their father wouldn't be home now. Maybe tomorrow. Because their father is not good for John's health. Especially now. She isn't stupid. John May said that his heart pain is from somebody dying, and she believed him cause he is the person she trusts the most in the world. But she knows deep down that this has something to do with their father cause goddamn. In the morning, their father suddenly showed John affection. Affection that he never given John in years. She wouldn't be fucking surprised that their father is the biggest reason for John having a literal heart attack. The shock would be too much for John to handle. Fuck their father. If not for John, she would have an all-out brawl with him every day. How dare he hurt John? How dare their bastard of a father hurt the little brother of the great Mordred Ark? Looking at his sister being lost in thought, John decided to just shake his head and sigh. Sometimes his sister liked to get lost inside of her own head. But hey, he won't complain or do anything about it. As much as he loved his sister, which is a lot for anyone asking, he sometimes couldn't help but want to. You know. Not hear shout insult to everyone. He doesn't mind her being loud or things like that. He isn't fond of her creative use of words. It doesn't hurt his feelings cause he know that whenever she insulted him, she never meant anything by it. It's just that he couldn't ever imagine himself throwing the same insults at her. He don't even think he had ever said a single insult at anyone in his entire life. Which compared to Mordred. By the time she was 10 years old, every curse words is basically burned into her vocabulary. So yeah. He couldn't imagine using the same vocabulary as her. It would be like Dad suddenly train him again. Basically end of the world stuff right there. He guessed that what she is thinking right now is probably about how she'll beat up Dad. As for how he know? Really? They both know each other the best. As they walk, John raised a hand and put it over his heart. Damn. It hurts. But compared to how bad it was this morning, this is fine. He could handle this. Even with Dad home. He could fake it. No, he must fake it. Act as if everything is fine. If his father suspected something, then it would be bad for him. Ever since he unlocked his aura, he never needed his mother to use her semblance on him. He doesn't know about what would happen if she used it on him now that he have his aura unlocked. If his mother's semblance exposed the fact that John had unlocked his aura, then it's basically game over. He won't be able to run away to Vacuo and join Shade Academy. And Mordred would also get blamed too, cause the others know that Mordred and him is basically as thick as thief, and if anyone knows about his aura, then it would be Mordred. There's a reason why their father or mother never unlocked all of his children's aura. It's because aura gives them a huge targets on the event of a grim attack. It's basically a shining beacon that says, hey, I'm here. Eat me. To the Grim. Grim is a creature of darkness and they hunger for light. Aura is our soul. And our soul is light. Even Atlas's foot soldiers don't have their aura unlocked, and even if they did, then it'll be pretty bad for them because none of them had gone into a hunter academy. And unlocking a person's aura isn't something you can do willy-nilly. It is a deeply intimate act. John wouldn't be surprised if it is more intimate than sorry for the language sex. Considering that unlocking a person aura with your own aura is in the simplest term is reaching out to their soul with your own soul. There is a reason about why unlocking a person's aura only happened to parent and children or siblings to siblings, because you don't want to bare your soul to a stranger, to somebody you doesn't basically know your whole life. And this heart of his. He used structural analysis on it multiple times already just in case he missed something. But there is nothing wrong with it, everything is fine. You okay, John? You're holding your chest. Mordred's words snap him out of his thought before he smiled again and nod his head. Yeah, I'm okay. It doesn't hurt as it used to. He is lying a little. Because even though it doesn't hurt as it used to, it still hurts really bad. How bad? Well, he would rather have the same injuries as he had when he unlocked his aura rather than what he is currently experiencing right now. It hurts like hell. But for his family. For Mordred. He would push through it. Because if he didn't, then what use is his love for them? You want me to give you another piggyback ride? I don't mind. John totally believe it when Mordred says those words. He know that she don't mind it. But he does. Because if he accept it, then Mordred will know just how truly in pain he is. And she'll get more worried. He don't want her to cry. So rather than accepting the piggyback ride, John shakes his head. No, it's okay. How about this? We'll race back home. Mordred looks at him with the kind of look that only made it more painful for him. Okay. You first. I'll give you a head start. Okay, John. You just had to push through this. It's just pain. And it will never stop you. For Mordred's sake, don't let it stop you. Okay. 3, 2, 1. After he countdown, John start to run as fast as his heart allowed him to. Mordred easily catch up to him. What's the matter, John? You tired? Mordred tried to put on some bravado in her voice, but her voice cracked because of her emotion. After a few minutes of running, John starts panting and slow down. Mordred instantly grab his arm and sling it over her shoulder. Come on. Just put all of your weight on me. Her eyes glisten with tears again, and John feels like he had become the worst brother in the words. He had once again put Mordred in tears. I'm sorry, he apologizes to her as they walk through the forest. Don't apologize to me, dumbass. You didn't ask for this. Mordred tell him. He knows that he didn't ask any of this. He didn't expect to wake up to a heart attack. But still. It didn't make him feel really guilty to make Mordred take care of him. Usually they would train until they're both tired, or they help around the town and just have some fun. But today, all he had given her are tears and stress. She didn't deserve any of this. He didn't deserve to have a sister as caring as her. Come on, John. Just hold on for a few more minutes. We'll arrive at our house in just a few minutes. Can you do that for me? She asked him. Please? Please. She said please. Oh. How that hurt him more than about actual stab could ever feel. His sister. The one who had never even said please to their parents. Had just used the word please to him. I'm not dying, Mordred. I'm not dying, he pleaded to Mordred because he doesn't want her to think that he is dying. He will be okay by tomorrow. He knew it. Tomorrow it would probably still hurt, but it'll be on the level that he can ignore. I know. I know, John. But don't keel over and die. It'll be a pain to drag your body back to the house. John couldn't be more happier at hearing Mordred's words. Well, I guess Since should thank you in advance. Hey, Mordred. Yeah. Thank you for being the best sister I could ever hoped for. Mordred let out a soft laugh as they are finally in view of their home. Stop saying weird shit like that, John. And you're not that bad of a brother too, I guess. 37, Mordred versus Miles. Dinner had started 20 minutes ago. Where are her 2 other children? Neither Mordred nor John is one to miss out on dinner, Mordred because she actually liked eating, and John because even though he never say it, it's clear that John enjoyed the company of his family while eating. Luna is seriously worried now because they had been gone for close to 11 hours now. She is debating to herself if she need to tell Miles to start a search party for her 2 missing kids. She knows that Mordred is strong enough to defend herself, and no one in the town would dare to harm those 2 courtesy to John's kindness. But still. If they play in the woods, then they could get ambushed by Grims. But just as she is about to open her mouth to tell Miles to go and create a search party, she hears the front doors opening. Is that John? Saffron asked her, which she nodded and looked at the entrance to the kitchen. I hope, she really do hope that it's them, because Alms know what she is gonna do if it's not. She probably gonna cry. But after that? Well. She may be called the Saint of Orleans, but that doesn't mean that she can't throw hands. She was a hunter for fuck's sake. After hearing the sound of footsteps, John and Mordred walked through the entrance, and Luna breathed out a sigh of relief. Thank God. Luna then looked at her children and sees Mordred completely fine, but John is a little pale and also a little sweaty. Are you okay, John? Did you get a cold? Luna then tried to stand up, but John quickly shakes his head before he follows Mordred and take their seat on their chairs next to each other. It's okay, Mom. Mordred and I just raced each other here. So I'm just kinda tired from running that and I think I need to drink some water. He let out a tired chuckle. Running? Raced? She knows that she should be happy that her children get along well, but isn't this unfair for John? John is a normal 12-year-old boy while Mordred is just a couple years away from joining a hunter academy. And unlike Mordred who had unlocked her aura, John doesn't. She need to have a talk to her daughter because at this point, she need to know that her brother isn't as strong as her. I thought Miles had drilled it into her about just how different she are compared to a person with no aura. I also need to talk with Miles because clearly his teachings doesn't stick. She discreetly pinched Miles' thigh just enough to activate his aura and making him flinched in pain. We'll have a talk later. Her eyes communicate to him, which he replied with his eyes too. What did I do? I was just eating. I'm minding my own business. She pinched even harder. That's exactly the problem. Miles then stopped pinching Miles's thigh before she looked at Mordred and give her a smile that made her shivers in fear and confusion about why is her mother looks like she's about to give her the biggest grounding of her entire life. Mordred. We'll have a talk later, okay? Luna is so scary that even her other thinks that it was them that their mother is mad at. What the fuck did I do? Mordred's thought is as easy to read as an open book because it's plastered all over her face. Come on, Mordred. Let's eat. Just as John is about to plate his plate, Mordred took over and plate his food. Which greatly confused Luna because maybe the others doesn't took notice at this. But she does. It was usually the other way around. John plating Mordred's food rather than Mordred's plating his. This is weird. Maybe Mordred felt guilty for challenging John to something he could never win. Maybe I should not ground her for an entire week. Now that I think about it. It'll be bad for John too, considering that if I do that, John would feel alone. He could maybe invite the others. But it would still feel different to him considering that Mordred is his favorite. She then let out a sigh. Maybe punishing her by making her mow the lawn would be better. So John. How was your day? She snapped out of her thought as she hears her sweet daughter, Jean, ask John. It was great. Luna listened closely and considering how tired John is. He looked like he have a lot of fun with Mordred. She should sometime go with them just to see what's up, now that she thinks about it. She never really did go with them whenever they are on their outings. She should remedy that. Okay. Now Miles is going to make the most important decision of his life. Which is, should he ask Mordred now while they are eating? Or should he ask Mordred later in private after they are done eating? On one hand, he could risk Mordred starting a fight with him because she would get angry at him for asking her about what place does John likes to go to. Rightfully so. Considering that he had failed his duty as a father to the point that he had to ask one of his children to know more about one of his children. That's that his father would have beaten him black and blue for this because Miles know for a fact that his father would know all of his grandchildren favorites. From places to food. Shit. He doesn't even think that he knows about what is John's favorite foods. That's bad. And what of John's favorite drinks? Maybe he like apple juice more than orange juice. Or does he likes grape juice above all else? Double shit. Yeah. He really need to be a better father cause goddamn. The more he thinks about it, the more he feels like shit knowing that he really failed. Like really failed at being a father to John. No wonder Mordred loved having fights with him. How could he blame her for that? He deserved it. The voices of his children managed to pull him out of his thoughts, especially when Mordred and John stand up. Shit. He lost his first option. By the time he is standing, Mordred and John is already on the stairs and he had to jog a little to catch up to her. Mordred, wait, he asked her calmly as if he wasn't panicking for a sec then. Mordred looked back before she positioned herself between him and John. And it hurt him deep inside. But once again, he deserved this kind of treatment from her. What do you want? Mordred's words cut deep into his heart, but he is a little confused on why Mordred hadn't started shouting or anything. It's like she is holding herself back from shouting. Well, he wouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth, he'll take whatever blessing he could take. Can we talk? Just the two of us? Shit. He doesn't know how to word it in any other way. He really isn't good at this or talking in general. Talk? Well, whatever you want to say to me, you can say to it John too. Mordred glared even harder at him. Mordred. Please. He really hoped that Mordred would understand, but sadly, he may had said the wrong word. Please. 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 She got right up to him and jabbed her finger on his chest. Please. Is that all you have to say? Did John said please when you stopped his training? She shouted at his face and he can feel some of her spit landing on him. Fuck no, he didn't say please. She then pushed him chest. You fucking coward. Don't you dare say please to me, you fucker. Her voice is loud enough that Luna and the others had come to know what the fuck is going on. Miles. What the fuck is going on? I was just this fucker wanted to pull me away so he can talk to me about something. Why the fuck would I want to talk with him? I got better shit to do than listen to whatever bullshit he is going to say. She cut him off before he can explain what had happened to his wife. Miles, now it's his wife's turn to glare at him. Which? Shit. Wait. Let me explain, but Mordred cut him off again. Explain what? Explain that you want to ask me something but you don't want John to also hear it. She then tried to push him again but stopped when John put his hand on her shoulder. Mordred. John softly called out to her before he leaned in and whispered into her ears, but whatever he is saying works because it calmed Mordred down. But just as he thought that everything is all right and he have a chance to ask Mordred about what is John's favorite and what not, Mordred decided otherwise because she grabbed John by his arm and dragged him upstairs. Don't fucking talk to me or my brother. And when they both are out of view, everyone downstairs can hear the door slam closed. Shit. That was what Miles thinks as he feels his wife's hand on his shoulder. I really should have worded my words better to Mordred. But sadly, he is too late to regret it. Shit 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 shit, that is what Mordred could think as she dragged John up the stairs, and as soon as they are out of sight from the others, she quickly carried John with a princess carry and run as steadily as she can while carrying John. Shit. I should have ignored him and don't stop walking. Why the fuck did I not ignore him? Now look at this. She looked at John, who is breathing softly but his face is a lot paler than before. When she was about to literally throw hands with her father, John whispered to her that his heart is painful again. And fuck Miles. And would prioritize John first then fucking fight with her father. She doesn't know how, but she have a really fucking suspicious that their father only worsened John's condition. Because before they come inside the house, they take 10 to 20 minutes break just outside of their house so John can feel better before coming in. But as soon as John enter the house and arrive at the kitchen, his face become pale. He wasn't pale before. Whatever this is, it must have some shit to do with their father. When she reached John's door, she opened it and quickly get inside before she kicked the door closed, and she noticed that she unconsciously used her aura to kick the door. Thankfully the door didn't break. Or flew off its hinges. Mordred. John called out to her again. She quickly and gently laid John on his bed before she replied to her. Yeah. Sorry. Really. John and his stupid face just had to say sorry again. What the fuck is wrong with this kid? He didn't ask to have a heart problem like this. Nor did he fucking ask to have such an asshole of a father. She will gladly lay all the blame solely at the feet of their father because she don't know how. But she knows that their father had a hand in this shit. Is it logical? No. Will she care that it doesn't make sense considering that their father is away at the time? Also fuck no. Why the fuck are you saying sorry for, John? You didn't do shit. Okay? Mordred is genuinely getting tired of John saying sorry cause why? He didn't do shit. Just sorry. You had to waste your time taking care of me. Her words only managed to give her a headache. John. Listen to me. We had gone through this conversation fucking hundreds of times by now. I help you because I want to, okay? And also because that you are my little brother. No other reason than that. She really hoped that her words will get through John now. Him and his guilty complex. It's like a match made in fucking hell with how much it annoyed her to no end. It looks like Dad was trying to talk to you. I ruined it. He told her in between deep breath, which she know that he forced to get into his lungs because his heart is killing him right now. Hey, you didn't ruin shit. If whatever he wants say cannot be said around you, then I don't want to hear it. It's either he say it with you there or he don't say anything at all, okay? She really hoped that it get through John's frankly too stupid head this time. Okay. It just looks like he is trying to say something important. John tell her, which only made her want to pull out her eat. She want to grab his head and shout at him until he gets it that she doesn't care about how important it is. Their father could fucking tell her that she could go to Beacon tomorrow and she wouldn't give a flying fuck about it. Fuck him. He isn't important to her in a single bit compared to John. But she knows that she couldn't yell at John like that right now. John is still in pain and the last thing she want him to have a headache because of her. John. Whatever he want to say. No matter how important it is, she then poke a finger to John's chest softly. Will never be as important as you to me, okay? And please, for the love that is holy, get that through your head. Her words managed to get a chuckle out of John. Now. Shut your mouth and go to sleep. I don't want to hear you waste oxygen again. John then moved to the side of the bed and making space for her, and she chuckled before she get off the bed and over them under the blanket. Thank you, Mordred. No need to thank me, dumbass. After a few minutes of silence and just as she is about to fall asleep, she hear John talk one last time before he himself fall asleep. I love you. She made sure that John is asleep before she replies back. I love you too, John. Miles. Tell me. What the fuck did you do? Luna grill her husband inside their bedroom because right now she is pissed. If not for John, then Mordred would fight her father physically again. She thought that she could trust Miles when he get up from his seat and go after John and Mordred. She must know better that he would fuck it up in some way or another. Miles was never good with his words, and whatever he said to John or Mordred, she would hear her money that it's Mordred. Well, whatever he said is enough to make Mordred almost blows up if not for John stopping her. I just wanted to ask her something. Miles tell her, which she for a fact know that isn't all that happened. Ugh. This man is eating away at her patience. Because fuck. Just tell her what he told them. Luna grit her teeth and clench her fist. And tell me. What exactly did you told them? Well, I told Mordred that I want to talk with her alone. Miles explained to her. Talk with Mordred alone. Luna. Calm yourself down before you hit this stupid buffoon on his face. And what did she replied with? Miles scratched the back of his head and look away. Well. She She told me that if I wanted to say something to her, then whatever it is, I can say them in front of John too. Is Miles stupid? Of course she will reply with that. Did he doesn't use his brains? But she knows that isn't enough to make Mordred as angry as she was. So what the fuck did Miles said after that? And then? What did you tell her after she told you that? Well, I said her name and said please. Please. And considering that the whole family heard what Mordred shouted next. Oh God. She really want to slap him now. I don't think I did anything wrong. I asked her calmly and clearly. I didn't antagonize her, and I smack. Miles' head snapped to his side as his aura activate and shield his body from the smack, but it doesn't do shit to lessen the pain from the slap itself. Luna. You didn't antagonize her? The fuck do you meant by that? She glared up to him and grabbed him by his collar and pulled his head down. You antagonize her from the moment you tried to exclude John in front of her. What the fuck is he thinking doing that to John in front of her, no less? He should know that Mordred won't take any shit that come to her little brother. I thought you know by now. Mordred won't ever let you dismiss John like that. She then let go of him and push him away before she start to walk around the room. Luna, she cut him off again before he can say another word. You promised me that you would be a better father to them, Miles. The fuck are you doing? Luna. You promised me, Miles. You promised. She can feel her eyes starts to wet with tears because it hurt her. It really hurts her heart whenever Mordred and Miles fought with each other. Years ago, before Miles stopped John's training, Mordred and Miles were basically a twin. They could match each other energy even with Miles' much more quiet disposition. And Mordred actively seemed her father approval. And look at them now. Mordred couldn't even stand being in the same room as her father unless John is in there, literally acting as an anchor and voice of reason for Mordred. How did the years go so wrong? She stopped in her tracks as she feels Miles's arms wrapped around her. Luna. I really tried, Luna, he tried to convince her, but it's not enough. Well, you didn't try hard enough. She cried into his chest. I did tried, Luna. I was trying to have a one-to-one talk with Mordred because I want to ask her about John. His words managed to make her stop crying for a second and make her lift her head up from his chest and look up into his eyes. Explain or I'm going to bite you. With the threat in the air, it made Miles want to explain it even more. Well, I wanted to ask her about what is John's favorite food. Places. Everything that John likes. Why? Yeah. Why? Even she is kinda confused on why. Is it good that he want to know more about John? Yes. But couldn't he just ask John himself? Why Mordred? Well, I plan to go out with John tomorrow and have a father and son time, he explained to her. Father and son time. That is good. Miles really did try. He kept his promises. Even though he is a little dumb for trying to ask Mordred that. You do know that you can just ask me that questions, right? I could have asked either John or Mordred those questions myself and they won't get suspicious. She then rested her head on his chest before she explained even further. And Mordred would probably be a lot cooperative with it, considering that she would absolutely want to make her little brother happy if I tell her that I am planning an outing for John. All I have to do was not mention you and she would spill the bean. Yeah. I didn't think of that, he confessed, which honestly doesn't surprise her. You're lucky I didn't marry you for your brains. Well, it's my charm, right? You wish, you absolute buffoon. Chapter 38. Okay. So after the conversation last night, Luna and Miles have an agreement with her asking Mordred about John, and Miles just not trying to make Mordred mad, which hopefully would turn it well. Miles doesn't exactly have a good track record for that. She had to get in between Mordred and Miles more time than she would like. Not that her presence made Mordred calm down. Sometimes it feels like she listened to John more than me. Luna thinks to herself while she is making breakfast. You okay, Mom? John's voice made her turn her head and sees him walking up to her. He feels normal. Yesterday he was kinda weird. I guess he was just tired yesterday. Yeah, I'm okay, John. You wanna help me with breakfast? She asked him, which John answered by simply get to her right side and start to help her cut the potatoes. She always loved it whenever John helped her do anything around the house. He doesn't need any instruction and just know how to do it. For example, this. John look at the ingredient on the table and instantly know that she is planning to make some hash brown and breakfast sandwich. He would make a pretty food house husband for any woman lucky enough to get his heart. That she can 100% say that as a fact. She is a little happy that John doesn't follow his father in that regard, cause Miles couldn't cook to save his life. She knows that because she is the one who packed her home-cooked meal for him whenever he go on a mission, and she also made sure to pack MREs for him too in case the mission took him into a place where he can't buy food. Sigh, Miles need to learn how to take care of himself. John would teach him if he asked. But Mordred would probably make it hard for Miles. So, where did you go yesterday with Mordred, John? She is really curious about where both her spirited daughter and loving son goes yesterday, because they both had been out for so long that she almost asked her husband to make a search party for them. Well, we were having fun in the woods, I guess. His words shocked her because the woods? She never knew that her children goes into the forest. Even with the local hunters culling out the grim population in the forest, it's still not safe for any children to go venturing there. John, you know that's dangerous. You shouldn't go there. He grabbed his shoulder and turned him to face her. I thought you were smarter than that, John. She really hopes her words get through him because she doesn't know what she is going to do if she lost him. Luna expected her son, who is as smart and mature as he is, would understand the danger of this. But, contrary to her expectation, John doesn't crow or yell at her saying how he could take care of himself. Which is stupid in her part. She should know better that John would do that. Her son is too mature for his age to ever lash out on her like that. She raised him better than that. Mom. Can I explain? Please. Her son's calm voice made her take a deep breath to calm herself down, because she should not get a panic attack in front of her son. 'Cause goddamn, she almost did have one. I know it's dangerous, Mom. But it's okay. You do remember that I was with Mordred. Right? She could kill any Grimm that tried to kill us, Mom. Mordred. She forgot that Mordred was with him. Could Mordred protect John? Yes. She can certainly say yes to that. Mordred would rather die before she let her little brother die to a Grimm. But still. It's a Grimm. Even with Mordred being a prodigy, it is still dangerous for both of them to go out to the woods. They're still kids. But still, John. You shouldn't go out there. You're smarter than this. Did Mordred ask you to go with her there? Because that is the only reason that would make sense to her head on why John would go to the woods. As much as Mordred loved her little brother, sometimes she forgot that not everybody is like her. Not everybody have their aura unlocked. John's eyes widen before he shakes his head and to explain calmly. No, Mom, Mordred didn't ask me to go with her. I was the one who asked her. Oh. She knows that he is lying. She knows it. It hurt her that her son first lied to her was this. But it also warmed her heart a bit knowing that he lied to protect his sister. She should reprimand him and punish him. But she can't. She can't do that to her boy. So. Just this once she'll let it slide. Her son deserved this much at least. Okay. I believe you. But no more, okay? No more going to the woods. It's too dangerous for you even with Mordred there. She then let out a sigh because why did her son go to the woods anyway? He usually go to the town and spend his time there. Next time, just go to the down like you usually do, okay? He nodded at her. Okay, Mom. But we should continue making the breakfast. The others would wake up soon. Shit. She forgot about breakfast. But who could blame her? She prioritized her son's safety over breakfast at any moment with no hesitation. Yeah. Let's continue making breakfast then. A few minutes had passed before she opened her mouth to talk to John again. John. Is Mordred okay? After last night? She can't neglect Mordred, especially after last night. Even if Mordred is not as close to her as she would like, she is still her daughter. She gave birth to her. Mordred? Well. She was just annoyed at Dad. She calmed down after we got inside my room. Annoyed? That is an understatement. Mordred wasn't annoyed at Miles. Mordred was furious at Miles. Miles really need to stop being so socially inept with his own children because this is what happened. Doc, can you tell Mordred later that your father is sorry? He doesn't meant anything bad by what he asked her. You know your father isn't the best at communicating. John let out a soft laugh. Yeah. I'll tell her that. And she will be more understanding if we give her double extra bacon. You know how much she loves that. That's was supposed to be her job. Being the one that knows how to calm down her children better than anyone and how to placate them. But it looks like her job has been stolen by John when it comes to knowing how to calm down Mordred. She really should be offended or sad about it. But she can't. Because why would she get sad at the fact that her son and daughter is much closer than they are to their own parents? She shouldn't be surprised about this by now, especially at the fact that John and Mordred knows about each other more than Noir and Blanchard know things about each other. And Noir and Blanchard are twins, so that is saying something. Smiley face unspecified currency. Where is John? Where the fuck is he? That was the first that crossed Mordred's head as she woke up to an empty bed. She then quickly get off the bed and was about to storm out of the room and shout John's name in an effort to find him, but she stopped dead in her tracks and take a deep breath. Why? Well, she finally realized that they are inside their home and John couldn't be kidnapped without her waking up. And once again, she is inside her home. It's safe here. Why didn't he wake me up? That stupid fucker must know how worried I would get. She then sigh and get out of John's room to use the bathroom and brush her teeth. In the hallway she can see Saffron walking out of her room and headed straight of Olivia's room, but she stops as she looks at Mordred. Mordred. You're okay? Saffron asks her because after what happened last night, it's not her fault that she would be worried about Mordred. Thankfully it looks like John managed to calm her down. Mordred frowned at Saffron. Why wouldn't I be okay? Well, last night you and Dad were fighting again. And I think you were about to punch him when we get there if not for John stopping you. Saffron explained to Mordred, which only made Mordred become annoyed. Mordred isn't a morning person. And the fact that she is being questioned about Miles this early in the morning? Well, that is not a good combination in the least. What about it, huh? Fuck him for trying to say some shit to me and trying to exclude John. She then crossed her arms over her chest. He should know better than that. Fuck him. Oh. So that was the problem. Saffron then let out a tired sigh because their father should know better than do that to John in front of Mordred, no less. He should know better than do that. I guess it was his fault. Saffron then continued. So, what did he want to ask you about? Maybe it's something about her trying to graduate combat school early like Artoria. But Artoria graduated a year early, not 3 years early. Why the fuck would I know? Her answer only made Saffron raise an eyebrow in confusion. Well, it could be something important. Saffron, tell her. Well, whatever it is, I don't want to fucking hear it. If John can't hear it, then I don't want to either. Because seriously, she would never let anyone disrespect John like that. Like what the fuck? If Miles is trying to say something to her, then just say it. Why the fuck would he need to say it without John being there? Fuck him and his stupid mouth. Saffron opened her mouth as if to say something before she closed it and shakes her head. Well, I'll go grab Olivia and take her to get breakfast. Saffron then started to walk away but stopped as she heard tell her to wait. Wait. Is anyone in the bathroom? Mordred is serious about this question. Because if the blonde dumbass Jean is using the bathroom now, well, Mordred is seriously fucked with her own morning breath because Jean always take the longest when any of them use the bathroom. She got a whole morning routine going on like, hey, you're not the only one that want to use the bathroom. Get out. Saffron chuckled. Well, I heard her wake up before I talked to you. But before Mordred could reply to Saffron, she stopped as she sees Jean's door open. Shit. Mordred quickly ran to the bathroom and locked the door behind her. Fuck. She then take a few deep breaths and calm herself down because she almost had to endure 30 minutes of her own morning breath cause she had to wait for Jean to finish her morning fucking routine. She then shakes her head and go to the sink to brush her teeth. As she brush her teeth, she starts to think of John and how he should wake her up, but she also think on how sweet he is because he knows that she isn't a morning person. Hopefully, John is alright today. Because shit, she doesn't know what to do. If John's heart is fucking him again today. Chapter 39. Breakfast was normal as usual. Well, as normal as breakfast could be after what happened last night. But Mordred couldn't care less about it because she is happy to see that John had recovered from what the fuck plagued him yesterday. You good? She whispered to him as she bite into the breakfast sandwich while ignoring whatever the others are saying because right now, John is more important than them. She looked at a plate with a lot of bacon stacked on it. Extra bacon? Damn. He's spoiling me. Mordred thought as she take another big bite into the breakfast sandwich. Yeah. I'm good, Mordred. John whispered back to her. You made extra bacon for me, didn't you? She whispered to him again with a smirk on his face. Yeah. As a thanks for what happened yesterday. He whispered again to her and Mordred is now holding herself back, giving John a really big and tight hug. Not that John would refuse it, on the contrary he would probably welcome it. You know you don't need to do this for me. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Don't want you to experience that kind of shit alone, she told John truthfully because of fucking course she would be by his side. Mordred smirked again and take a piece of bacon and eat it. But you're welcome anyway. While Mordred and John whispered to each other, they didn't hear the sound of Saffron calling out to them. Smiley face unspecified currency, John. Mordred. Saffron then let out a sigh. Those two are at it again. Jean let out a small chuckle because it's not an unusual sight. John and Mord sometimes get lost in their own worlds and doesn't hear if anyone is talking to them. Jean is sometimes envious of the bond her two older siblings have. They are so close. It's like seeing Noir and Blanchard, but the bond they have is much closer than the actual twins. She sometimes sees John and Mordred helping each other so seamlessly without the need of communicating. For example, a week ago Jean and Mordred was in the living room watching the TV just relaxing when Mordred told that she is going to the kitchen to grab some snacks. Jean decided to tag along to see what kind of snack is in the cabinets because Mordred taste in snacks is much more intense, you could say. Jean prefers snacks that is sweets like candies or NNN while Mordred likes snacks that is spicy. And while they both was walking to the kitchen, they come across John, who is going downstairs to go to the kitchen too. When they arrived in the kitchen without exchanging a single word the entire time, John opened the cabinet and grabbed some of Mordred's snacks while Mordred go to the fridge to pull out John's preferred snacks, which is the blueberry overnight oat that he made the night before. They then give each other their snacks before Mordred goes back to the living room and John goes back upstairs. All of that without talking to each other, and they just know what the other wants. And that is only one small interaction out of thousands by now where they work seamlessly without communicating. Jean wouldn't be surprised with John or Mordred have telepathy with each other, because how? How could they do that without communicating? Another example was last year when the summer heat was really hot and Jean and Mordred once again decided to watch the TV, but sadly, the remote was on the cabinet and they both are too lazy because of the heat to get it. Mordred asked her to get the remote, and just as she was about to get up and grab the remote, the front door opened and there comes John after a day out helping around the town. And once again, John just know what Mordred want because he just walked to the remote and tossed it to Mordred. How did he know that Mordred wanted the remote? Mordred was playing with her scroll because she was waiting for Jean. How did he know? Noir and Blanchard isn't like that. So how was those two can do that without being twins? That is one of the wonder of the world. Jean is sure. Well, Saffron, you should expect this by now if it's the two of them. Mom let out a small chuckle at Saffron's exasperation. Mom. Jean called out to her mother. Yeah, what is it, Jean? Her mother answered her as she turned her head to face her. How are they so close with each other? I can't be the only one that noticed that, right? Like, they are much closer than Noir and Blanchard. Like, how? Jean questioned her mother because if anyone knows the reason why, then it would be her. Well, how do I explain this? Luna then hummed and leaned back on her seat as the rest of her children except for Mordred and John, because they're inside their own world with their whispers, lean closer to their mother to listen in on her. Even Miles, who is sitting at the head of the table, turning his head to Luna so he can hear her better. Mordred and John. They both remind me of a pair of hunters that had worked with each other for a decade or more. I'm not the only one who sees them work so seamlessly, right? She asked her children with them nodding in confirmation. Well, their synergy is off the charts, I would say. Even your father and I didn't have that kind of synergy when I was a hunter, even though we cannot work so seamlessly in our day-to-day life like John and Mordred. Loon then take a sip of her coffee. John and Mordred are so compatible with each other even with their opposite personality. What was the word again? Something attracts. Opposites attract? Saffron chimed in and Luna nodded. Yeah, opposites attracts. That's the words. Jean then looked at Miles and asked for his opinion. What about you, Dad? What's your thought about this? Well, my thoughts on John but unfortunately for her faft. Him saying John's name managed to break the two pseudo-twins out of their world. In specific, it made Mordred turn his attention at her father. And that's not good. How is Jean so sure that it's not good? Well, she can see the tick mark on her forehead. And her father is thankfully smart enough to change the subject, because if he didn't, well, there is going to be another one-sided shouting match between Mordred and Miles, which would only end when John there had to pull her away or whispered to Mordred like last night. And his cooking is really good. John would make a really good chef. She can see her father hoping that Mordred didn't catch on about what's happening. And Jean silently pray too. My cooking? Well, thank you, Dad. John thanks his father for the compliment, but Jean can see Mordred eyeing their father distrustingly as if she knows that her father had changed the subject. Which is a little scary, to be honest. Jean feels that Mordred is a little. Well, not a little. But mildly? No, that's putting it lightly. Mordred is really overprotective of John. Double so if it involved their father. So, Jean can hear Saffron is struggling to change the subject. How was your mission yesterday, Dad? Oh yeah. She forgot about her father's mission because of how fast it took him to finish it. Yeah, your mission, Dad. How was it? Did you find the girl? Jean asked her father because if the mission was finished this fast, then that meant that he had found the girl and bring her back to her parents, right? But the reaction that she got from her mom and dad is weird to say the least. They looked shocked at her question. What do you mean by that, Jean? Her mother looked at her with a lot of questions in her eyes. Well, I heard Dad whispered to you about that he is looking for a missing maiden. So it's a missing girl, right? She looked at her parent weirdly before her dad nodded to her. Yes. It was a missing girl. And the mission was successfully, her dad answered her question, and before she can ask more about the specifics of the mission, her mother changed the subject. Children, I was thinking on having a movie night tonight. You know what that mean? She looks around and sees Noir raising her hands up high. Yes, you Noir. Pizza. We're having pizza. Noir shouted excitedly, I guess it's been a while since we last had pizza. Saffron commented before she continues to feed Olivia. Pizza. I like pizza. Blanchard comments softly. Pizza. Pizza is good. She likes pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? So what kind of pizza are you making later, Mom? Jean asked her mother because of course her mother would make the pizza herself. And the family loves her for it. Well, what do you guys want? I would write it down and buy the ingredients later. As the others starts to tell Mom about what they want on the pizza, Jean turned her attention to Mordred and John and starts to listen to them. You know what I like. So you better not botch this up, I want to eat your pizza tonight. Mordred told John, which reminded Jean then of course John would also help Mom make the pizza. John is as good as Mom and sometime is even better than her depending on the day at cooking. Valian deep dish pizza, right? John asked Mordred, which Mordred answered by nodding her head. Of fucking course deep dish pizza. Mordred then take a piece of bacon and start to snack on it. And I want some bacon bits on the pizza too. And I ain't talking about store-bought bacon bits. John let out an amused chuckle and nod his head. I'll make sure to fry the chopped bacon myself, Mordred. I'll make it perfect for you. You better. Or God knows what I'm about to do to your stupid face. Mordred threatened to John, which Jean know that it's just empty air considering that Mordred would rather hit herself first before she ever do that to John. Jean let out a sigh. She sometimes wished that she can have someone that understand her as much as John and Mordred understand each other. Is it wrong for her to be jealous of her own siblings' bonds with each other? She thinks so. But she just can't help it whenever she sees her two older siblings so in sync with each other. It's currently Mordred's turn to wash the dishes. Before anyone asks, do Mordred even have a turn in washing the dishes and shits like this? No. Mordred actually offered herself to wash all of the dishes because she knows that John will do it. And Mordred doesn't want John to suddenly have a heart attack while washing the dishes. He just recovered from yesterday and Mordred would take John's stress off him. Even if the stress is something as little as washing the dishes. Thankfully Mom is also here washing the dishes. The others? Well, she knows that John will most likely be in his room. And the others? Well, probably would be the same as John. In their fucking rooms. As she washed the dishes, she heard her mother call out to her. Mordred. I want to ask you a question. Her mother asked her. Which is a little weird. Her mother never asked her any question before. Unless it's for school. Like report cards. Thankfully John helped her with her school cause Alms know that she would get at best a B+. And cause of John she got an A at minimum. Yeah. What is it? It's about your brother, her mother told her. Shit. What the fuck do she want to know about John? Did she notice John's heart hurting or some shit? Shit. I know I should be more careful. 'Cause fuck. Even with the storm inside her head, Mordred remained calm, on the outside, and talked to her mother. What about him? She looks at her mother's face hoping that she could read it. Well. Tell me about him. His favorite stuff. Favorite stuff? Well, she knows all about John's favorite. Well, John loves eating berries. Which Mordred knows because the amount of time she accompanied John foraging for berries to the point that they have some stocked in the cave. He loves dancing too, duh. Dancing? Really? I never sees him dance anymore. Her mother told to her that. Which frankly doesn't make sense to Mordred. John always danced with her. Almost every day. What does she meant that she never see John dance anymore? Oh. Oh yeah. She forgot that nowadays fighting is equal to dancing in John's book. He basically fucking glides on the ground, that's how smooth his footwork is. She can't fault her mother for that. John danced only with her nowadays, including before Miles stopped his training, in which John dances with Saffron almost every fucking day. Well, normal dancing. Well. He only danced with me. So it's okay if you don't know about it, she tell her mother, hoping that it would alleviate her curiosity. Okay. Okay. What about? What is his favorite activity? Or places to be exact? Okay. Now this is getting weird. Because why does her mother is asking her about this? Well, fuck it. Maybe her mother wanted to be a better mother to John, in which Mordred approved. Well, other than dancing, John's favorite activity is helping people. Doing charity works. Well, as much as charity as going around the town helping the people. Mordred then hummed as she starts to think about what is John's favorite place, and after a few seconds of thinking, she remember how much fun John have at the beach, and it's been a really long while since he goes to the beach. As for his favorite place, it's gotta be the beach. He likes playing in the sand and swimming in the ocean. Weirdly, her words about the beach made her mother's eyes twinkle a little. Does she plans for us to have a beach trip? Well, shit. That is good, John is going to love it. Okay. Well, thank you, Mordred. Why don't you go and play with your brother and I'll do the dishes. And don't worry, there aren't many dishes left. Her mother offered her JN, which she answers with a nod and wash her hands. Okay. After she washed her hands, Mordred quickly get on the stairs to get to John's room. She can't wait to tell John about what she thinks her mother is going to do. It's going to be so fun for him. 40, Mandatory Beach Episode. Okay. Mordred. So what you're saying is that Mom is going to arrange a surprise beach trip? I asked Mordred. She nodded at me. Yeah. Mom asked me shit about you. Like, what's your favorite food? Your favorite places? Hell, she even asked me about what you love doing for fun. Mom asked her that? That is surprising to say the least. But a good surprise, I would say. A good surprise indeed. So, why didn't Mom ask me this? I asked Mordred because I am frankly curious about why didn't Mom just ask me those questions. Why, Mordred? Mordred looked at me as if I'm stupid. Are you dumb? Of course Mom is going to ask me, and not your stupid ass. And how does that explain why she asked her? I then let out a sigh. But why though? Because you're obviously not going to be honest about it and say something like helping around the house and go to the town or some shit cause you don't want her to create a trip just for you. Don't know why you prioritize the others. Mordred rolled her eyes at me and let out a sigh. Well, she isn't wrong to say that. Now that I think about it, if Mom were to ask me those type of questions, I would indeed say something simple like that. She then sit next to me on my bed and poke my chest. Everything is okay in there? Or it's still painful. Well, I even forgot that my heart was really painful yesterday because I woke up fine today. No, it's not painful anymore. Is it John's not painful or normal people's not painful? 'Cause those two shit are two different things. You would even call having a broken arm not painful because you don't want to worry other people. She let out a sigh. Just be straight with me. Is it painful or not? I shake my head at her. It's normal now, Mordred. Just like usual. And I am saying the truth because my heart is completely fine now. That's good then, 'cause if it's still painful then I am going to drag you to bed and force you to sleep. Mordred sounds serious and I know that she would do that in a heartbeat. She could drag me to Mom and make her try to heal me, but she knows me better than that. If my aura can't heal whatever that happened to my heart, then Mom's semblance won't work either, considering that it is basically aura healing. Talking about my heart. I still don't know what caused my heart attack. I have a hunch that it has something to do with that dream. Who was that girl? I thought dreams is made up by somebody's imagination and the people in the dreams are made out of their memories of the people they met in their day-to-day life. But I never seen that girl before. And the dream felt so real. Not only the girl, I never even met that man. I forgot what was his name, but I remember his purple hair. I never met someone with purple hair before, so it can't be from my imagination. I don't even know people with purple hair exist, and his hair looked natural and not dyed. And I don't know how or why, but I know for sure that somebody died. Somebody close to me. But who? If it was Artoria, then Mom and Dad would be informed by now, so I can scratch Artoria's name off the list. But who? Who died? And how am I close with that person? John. I really need to think more about this more, because what if this kind of things happened again, but rather than when I was sleeping, it happened when I am outside? John. I would be really vulnerable to anything. And I don't want to make the others panic. John. Can I stop it if it happened again to me? How would I even train for this kind of scenario anyway? Maybe if John. I got snapped out of my thoughts and looked straight at Mordred. Yeah. Finally. I've been calling out to you for ages now. You're stuck on your fucking head, John. She let out a sigh. You're lucky I didn't throw a pillow at your stupid face. I let out a chuckle. Well, I guess I am lucky then. So. Why did you call out to me anyway? And once again she looked at me as if I'm a dumbass. You're impossible, you know that? I told you that I suspect Mom is going to throw a surprise beach trip for us, and it never crossed your mind to pack up your stuff so we can relax while the other rush to get their beach shits into their bag? Oh. Yeah. It didn't cross my mind to pack my swimming trunks and the other essential. Sorry. I don't know what I would do without you, Mordred. Probably keel over and die because of how much an idiot you are. She then stand up and open my closet and search through for my stuff. Her words may be harsh. But she is loving in her own ways. I wouldn't want her to ever change. Miles, I just asked Mordred about John's favorite. I told Miles I get inside the bedroom. He perked up. Well, that's great. So what did she say? Well, she told me that John enjoy going to the beach, so there. I'll arrange a beach trip for the entire family and I'll handle the girls while you go have some father-son bonding time with him. I explained to him, and frankly, distracting the girls would be the easiest and hardest thing for me to do. How is it both easy and hard, you would say? Well, I know that my girls would be smart enough to understand what I'm trying to do, which is giving their father the space to have some time with their brother. And you would think that because they understand it, then it would be easy. Well, it is easy. Now let's go to the hard part. With my girls being smart enough to understand it. That meant that Mordred would understand it either. I wouldn't be surprised if Mordred stubbornly decided to stick close to John. Neither I and especially Miles can do anything about it. No one can. No one. Except for John, that is. I would bet my kidney that if John say the word, Mordred would give him some space. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Mordred stalked the two of them. Sometimes Mordred is a little overprotective of John. Which is good. I would rather her being overprotective rather than she not caring about John's safety at all. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring up the fact that Mordred brought John to the forest. I should scold her for it. But I'll decide to let this one go for now. So, how do you ask her for that information? Miles asked me curiously, which I can't blame him. He didn't even got the chance to ask Mordred that question before Mordred exploded in anger. Well, I just asked her about what is John's favorite things. The wide-eyed expression on his face is a little bit funny. Oh, poor Miles. Her husband really never had a chance at doing this. That's it? He asked me in surprise. Yes. That's it. His face is telling me that he didn't believe it. No bribes? The word came out of his mouth, but even I know that he didn't believe his own words either. He is just grasping at straws by this point. Nope, no bribes. For real? For real, real. Miles then let out a sigh and sit on the edge of the bed. What did I do wrong? I cannot help but think of how cute he is right now. Is that bad? Well, I don't care anyway. A lot of things. But you are trying to make things right too, so that gotta count to something. I then pat his head. Do you ever think that Mordred would stop being so harsh on me? He asked me and I can't help but stop to think on it. Would Mordred give him a break from her hostile behavior? Maybe. But it is a possibility if Miles made up for his mistakes with John. Mordred would at least learn to tolerate Miles at the very least. Well, I can't promise you that. But there's a chance that it could happen if you made up with John. You know how Mordred is. If you and John become buddy-buddy, Mordred would stop being so harsh with you. My words make him let out a sigh of relief. But. Okay, now he looked tense again. But you would be on thin ice with her. That I can count on. The moment you treat John like you usually do in the past. Or even like last night. Well, you would destroy what little trust she has in you completely. Thanks for the words of confidence, Luna. I let out a chuckle and lightly pinch his cheek. Hey, cheer up, as long as you don't screw things over then everything will turn out well. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. As expected from my genius mind, the other are rushing around the house grabbing their essentials and their stuff. Hold John and I relax on the couch. Why would John relax with me rather than help his sisters, you may ask? Well, the answer to that is simple. I am forbidding him to do so by resting my legs on his thighs as I lay on the couch, basically pinning him down, and I guess me glaring at him whenever he tried to get up also helped a little with making him sit down on his ass for once and let the other do their own shit without his help. 'Cause goddamn, she knows that John wanted to help just for the date of helping, but fuck me. It's exhausting to watch him doing that. And ain't no way in hell I'ma let him do all of this kind of shit after what happened yesterday. What if his heart starts to act stupid again because he used too much energy helping these stupid lazy fuckers? Mordred. Please. He looked at me with his puppy eyes. Which would work if I didn't steel myself and push him down with my leg again. No. Please. Do I really need to say the magic word so he sit the fuck down? Shit. Okay. John. If you don't sit down and relax, I'll cry. I don't want you to have another heart attack, John. He instantly looked away from me and nodded. Thank God that works. 'Cause I think I would have to tie him down to stop him. But I won't lying when I said that I'll cry. Because as much as it'll hurt my pride, I will cry again if I see him in the state that he was yesterday. Fuck me. Hopefully the other is finished packing up their stuff fast, because fuck me. I'm fucking bored. Thank God John convinced me to drink the motion sickness pill or some shit. 'Cause I am right now laying down on the back seat with my head on John's lap and my leg on Jean's lap. How am I in this position, you may ask? Well, all I had to do was just lay my head down on John's lap and he start to massage my forehead without missing a beat. And how did I convince Jean? Well, I offer her that I'll have a spar with her tomorrow. This is why John is my favorite and not that bitch Jean. Because I don't need to offer John anything and he'll do everything for me. Which also goes the same for me, he doesn't even have to ask me shit and I'll kill anyone he want to. Not that I expect him to ask me to kill anyone, he's too kind for that. And who would even anger John that much anyway? Everyone in town loves him. To be honest, I prefer to sit at the front passenger seat next to the driver for my health reason, not because I am more comfortable there, I'm more comfortable being by John's side. But fucking unfortunately, Miles is driving the car and Mom is sitting on the passenger seat. Even if Mom offered to trade place with me, ain't no way in hell I'm going to sit through 2 hours of a car trip with Miles by my side. Would rather have Noir screaming down my ears rather than that shit. And I consider Noir screaming as a certified military torture method. Shit. 2 hours. Hopefully the fucking pills lasted that long, cause if not, I'm going to jump over the seat and vomit on Miles's face. And that's an arc fucking promise. Kids, make sure to not leave anything in the car. Make sure to bring your bags with you. I hear Luna talks to the kids as I open the minivan's trunk and the kids one by one. Mordred pushed me slightly to the side and grabbed 2 bags which I could use an educated guess to be hers and John's bags. I saw John tried to take his bag off from Mordred's hands, but she shakes her head and walked to the beach, which also meant that it also made John followed her. I let out a sigh as Luna approached me. How am I going to do this, Luna? It won't work. She put a hand on my shoulder. Miles. You had fought much more fearsome creature. Creature that would put Mordred's anger to shame. You can do this. She have a point. But Mordred is different, Luna. She's my daughter. What if I made her angry again and ruined John's day? This could only end in disaster. Miles. Listen to me, she then grabbed my chin and turned it to face her. This could very well be the greatest chance you have to fix everything. Don't you miss Mordred calling you Papa? Don't you want to make John actually love you again? Come on. This is it, she then pat my cheek. Please. Do it for me. I can't disappoint her now. Can I? Okay. I will. But please be there for me. I really need her to be there for me. Because I don't think if I can do this without her. She nodded at me. I will, I promise, Miles. Okay. That's good. I can do this. Fuck. I can't do this. Look at Mordred. She's playing with John at the shore, but maybe because of her big sister's instinct, she is shielding John from my view with her body and glaring at me occasionally. Shit. Miles. Luna called out to me. And shit. Even if I don't have any confidence to not fuck this up. I need to do this. I nodded at her. Girls. Come here for a second. I want to talk to you about some things. Wait. Why is she calling the girls here? Is this the distraction she talked about? She didn't tell me this. Shit. Mordred is walking here with a confused John being dragged by her. She probably dragged John along because she doesn't want to leave John alone, even though Luna only called out to the girls. After a few seconds, all of my children had arrived. And that also include the annoyed Mordred and the confused John. What is it, Mom? Saffron asked Luna, and I can see Jean and the twins nodding to Luna in curiosity too. Well, I would tell you about it, Saffron. But I only asked for the girls to come. Not the boys. Luna motioned to me and John with her hand. As expected, this doesn't goes well with Mordred, who glared at Luna. Whatever you want to say to me, then you can say it to John too. Hopefully this is not going to be a repeat of last night. Mordred. Calm down. I am planning to talk about girls' things. Things that only a girl should hear. Luna tried to explain to Mordred, but it only made Mordred become more angry. But before she can open her mouth, John put a hand on her shoulder and shook his head. Mordred. Please. It's okay, and I don't exactly want to hear about. You know. Girls' thing. He have an awkward expression on his face, which I can't blame him for. Because if I were to be in his shoes, I would also feel awkward, because who doesn't? Mordred stayed silent as she have John look at each other's eyes and have a silent conversation with it for a while before Mordred sighs and looms away from John. Go on then. Promise to me that you won't keel over and die. Shit. Did she really think that I would let John be in danger if it's only the two of us? She really doesn't trust me, huh? Is the great Mordred Ark worry about little old me? John teased Mordred. John. Teased. Mordred. Oh, this is not going to end well. Me worried? Nah, I just don't want to lose my personal masseur. She scoffed and walked to Luna and sit down next to her on the beach towel. Don't worry, Mordred, I'll be fine. John reassured Mordred, and it looks like it managed to calm her down a little. How? How did John not make Mordred exploded? This isn't the first time I seen Mordred got teased by her siblings. It never ended well. But this is the first time I sees John teased Mordred. And she didn't explode. Holy shit. How? I could imagine if it was me that teased Mordred, she would probably try to kill me. John really is Mordred's favorite. Noted. As John starts to walk back to the shore, I catch up to him calmly. Thankfully, because of my height, I don't need to jog or rush over to John. My long legs is good enough to make me faster than John's walking speed. As we are far enough from the others, I call out to John. John. Yes, Dad? Shit. He is talking formally now. If it were Jean or Saffron that I called out, they would be more relaxed. Shit. I really messed a lot of shit up. Do you want to have a walk with me? His eyes widen on surprised, which I can't blame him. This would be the first time he and I have a walk in years. The last time was. I don't even remember it. But I'm sure that it was before that day. He nodded at me and gave me a smile I felt absolutely unworthy of. Okay, Dad, I would love to. As we walk alongside the shoreline, I try to start a conversation with John. So. It's been a while, shit. Is that the best you can do, Miles? Yeah. It's been a while. Do you want to get some ice cream? Wait, do John even like ice cream? I forgot to ask Luna. John thankfully only let out a chuckle and nodded. Yeah. That would be great, Dad. Why the fuck is my son is more relaxed than me? I am the adult, for fuck's sake. Get your shit together, Miles. Well. Follow me then. I then start to walk ahead of John to the stalls where there are hot dogs, snacks, a few souvenirs, but most importantly for this situation, the ice cream place. Thankfully there are no line right now, so both John and I go straight to the counter. Can I have a large chocolate mint please, and one large. What ice cream would John even like? I never seen him at ice cream before. Neapolitan please. John asked the cashier, and the cashier start to scoop the ice cream, and in no time at all John and I start to walk again, but with our ice cream. So. I never knew that you like Neapolitan, John. I asked him, genuinely curious, because I would never guess that John would like Neapolitan. Well. Neapolitan isn't my favorite is matcha. I don't like Neapolitan. John told me, which only make my heart beat in panic. Shit. Matcha. I think I saw matcha in the ice cream place. It's the green stuff, right? Or is that mint? Shit. Okay, Miles. Calm yourself down. Panicking won't help you at shit. Do you want to go back to the ice cream shop and get you a new ice cream? 'Cause if that John want, then I will do it in a heartbeat. But John replied to me by laughing softly and shakes his head. No, it's okay, Dad. Okay. But why did you buy the Neapolitan if you don't like it? Why did John choose the Neapolitan? This is making me crazy. What do I do? What do I do? Oh. Well. It's because it's Mordred's favorite. John explained to me, which doesn't exactly make sense. It's Mordred's favorite and he doesn't like Neapolitan. He do know that I will buy ice cream for the others when we get back, right? As if he know that I still doesn't understand his reasoning, which is true. I don't understand it. John then explain it more. Whenever Mordred and I go out to buy ice creams, Mordred always buy the large Neapolitan while I buy the matcha ice cream. But she always finish it first and want more ice cream, and sadly, her pocket money isn't enough because we also buy a few snacks before buying the ice cream always. He then let out a hummed and take a spoonful of the Neapolitan. I would always offer her my ice cream, but she doesn't like the taste of it. So after that, whenever we buy ice cream, I would also pick the Neapolitan, so when her ice cream is finished, I would offer her mine. Could I buy her another ice cream? Yes. But she would get angry at me and talking about how it's my money and I doesn't need to spend it on her. So I had to order Neapolitan ice cream so she can be full. That is really sweet. John and Mordred really do have a special bond, don't they? How about this, John? When we later get back to them, I'll buy Mordred 2 portion of large Neapolitan. And buy you the matcha ice cream. His eyes widened and he smiled at me again. That would be great, Dad. I let out a sigh. Okay. Here goes nothing. John. I want to say sorry for being the worst father to you. And Mordred. Wait, Dad. No, you're not the worst father to us. His eyes widen in shock and he hurriedly shakes his head as if it could erase about how badly I treated him. I am John. I had been a bad father to you since that day. And Mordred always hated me for it. And I deserve her hatred. I deserve all of it. Dad. John call out to me, but I can't bear to look at him in the eyes. I don't want to see what his eyes would look like. Would he look at me with anger? Hatred? Disgust? I wish that you would hate me too, John. I deserve that. Oh, how much I wish it were to be true. Because if John hated me as much as Mordred does, it would make it easier for me to accept it. I don't feel worthy of how good John treated me even after all of the mistreatment I had did to him. Dad. John snapped at me. I would never hate you. His words made me stop dead in my track. Because how? Why? Why would he never do that? Why? I stopped you from achieving your dreams. I had done so many wrongs to you, John, too many wrongs than any good father would do to his own son. But Dad, I would never hate you for it. Am I sad that you do it? Yes. Angry? Yes. But hate you? Never. You're my father. I could never hate you, Dad. I finally look at John's eyes and see the tears welling up on it. I can help by reach out and wrapped my arms around him. I expect him to push me away. But all he did was hugged me back and it made me let out a choked sob. John. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I don't deserve John. A better father deserved John, not me. After a few moments of silence from John, he finally speaks to me again. Dad. I always wonder. But why? Why did you do it? Is it because I'm talentless? A lost cause? Is that what he thinks? Should I tell him the real reason? Would he understand? God, I hope he would, because he deserved to hear the real reason. No. It's not because of that, John. It's because you look so much of my own father. I don't want to lose you too, John. Oh. I hugged him tighter, hoping that it would convey just how much I want to be a better father to him. John. Please. Please help me be a better father to you, John. Please. I beg you. I will, Dad. I will. And I love you, Dad. I love you too, John. Chap 41. End of Arc 1. Yippee. John. I need some help over here. One of Mr. Rock's friends / employees / sailors / people who work at Mr. Rock's ship call out to John as he picked up some of them boxes. John doesn't know what exactly is their job titles because Mr. Rock never did tell John about what is their exact job on the ship. Mr. Rock introduced them to John a long time ago as friends that worked on his ship. All John knows is that Mr. Rock is the ship's captain. I'll be there, Mr. Andrew. John quickly put some of the boxes he himself carries, which is not that big nor heavy. He have to hide his aura, enhance strength, and act as if he is struggling. Fortunately, he have a lot of practice with acting weak because of his family, and put them on the deck. John then quickly get off the ship's deck by walking down the ramp before he grab a couple of boxes stacked on each other. You guys got a good haul this time, Mr. Andrew. Who even buy this many stuff to vacuo anyway? Is it a merchant? I thought you guys' usual supply line to vacuo wasn't this many. It's usually a lot less. Andrew shakes his head no while he walk up beside John and carried his own share of boxes. Nah, kid. It's just supplies, that's all. There's been a sandstorm or something a month ago, so our government thought it would be good if we strengthen our relationship with Vacuo by sending them a bunch of supplies. Andrew then hummed. Not that I am complaining, our government did pay us a buttload of money just to transfer this stuff. And considering that it also helped with the normal economy, then that's good too. Something hit Vacuo? I didn't know that. Hopefully everyone there is fine. But I would be there in a few days if everything goes well tonight. Hopefully. John thinks to himself, and he isn't wrong. At the latest he would arrive at Vacuo in a few days, considering that they are using a huge ship and not a bullhead. Oh yeah, he also doesn't exactly know where the ship is going to dock at in Vacuo, but from what he gathered, eavesdropped more accurately, from Mr. Rock's conversation with his sailor, it would be close to the academy. Which is good. The closer to the academy the ship docked, then the better it is for John, considering that he doesn't have enough money to travel to the academy if they docked at the other side of Vacuo. They then reached the deck and both Andrew and John put the boxes on the deck's floor. Andrew clapped his hands and looked at John. Well, kid, why don't you go back home and rest? You've been helping us the entire day. Don't want Rock to scold me for taking advantage of your kindness, kid. It's all right, Mr. Andrew. It's just a few more boxes left. John motioned to the dock, which only a couple of more boxes still hadn't been carried to the ship. The other sailors is busy preparing the ship for their journey tomorrow morning, so the duty of carrying the last batch of boxes fell onto Andrew's and of his friend's shoulders, but sadly, one of his friends sprained his ankle 'cause he slipped on the ramp. Fortunately John was there so he can help put the boxes inside. Andrew felt bad for asking a 12-year-old with the boxes. That's why he made sure to ask John to only carry the boxes without that much weight. Which is pretty much all of the boxes that they both had carried, considering that the heavy crates / boxes had been stocked inside the ship since yesterday by a forklift. If you say so, kid. Why don't you carry those boxes here while I go put this boxes down in the storage? Andrew offered John. John shakes his head no because he had made a small enough space in the ship's storage by arranging the crates and boxes in a particular way, but it still isn't complete yet. He only need a couple more boxes to hide the space by making it act as a makeshift door. No worry, Mr. Andrew. I'll put the boxes in storage and you can carry the boxes here. You are going to sail away, right? I don't want you to get too tired. And if I'm tired, I'll tell you. John really hoped that he managed to convince Andrew to do this. Because if he didn't, then it's game over. Andrew would find out John's little hiding place. After a few tense seconds, for John that is. Andrew let out a sigh and nodded. Okay, kid. But don't tell Rock about this. I don't want to get beat up by him. That man has more muscle than brain sometimes. He shakes his head and go down the ramp to carry the boxes. John managed to stop himself from punching the air in victory by picking up a stack of boxes and carefully get inside the ship and into the storage space. It took him a while to navigate through the crates and boxes before he reached his hiding place. Basically made a 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter room by arranging the crates just enough to not arouse suspicion. All he need to do is put a stack of boxes on the entrance and that's it. The entrance isn't that big anyway, he need time go sideways and slip into the crack. Is it the best place to hide? No. Can he sleep comfortably? No. He would need to curl into a ball to sleep comfortably. And even then it would still be a tight fit considering that he is going to bring his bag for supply and also his weapons. He found out that Dad had stored Grandpa's John's sword, Krrish Moore's, alongside its shield/sheath mecha shift weapon. Yeah, weapon. It could be considered a weapon because you could bash some Grimm's skull with it. Well, anyway, John found it in the attic. He planned to sneak into the attic late at night and quickly grab it. John can only hope that it all would turn out well. Mordred is going to help him too, anyway. After John quickly put the boxes and stacked them at just the right place, his hiding space is completely hidden now. Okay. Just get back up on the deck and finish putting the boxes away. After that, I'll go home. This is it. Okay. Now where the fuck is John? Mord thinks to herself as she sits on her chair while the rest of the family is preparing their plates for dinner. Is something holding him up back at the docks? Shit, did Rock or his crew found out about John little hidey hole? Shit. Mordred is full on panic mode because shit. If John really get caught, that it's over. Over for John. Mordred. Do I need to go to the docks and get John? If I go there fast enough I could snatch John away and we can hide at our spot for a couple of days before I can bring him on a runaway trip to vacuo myself. It would be a fucking harder, especially if there is a manhunt for us, but I don't fucking care. I would get John to vacuo myself. He don't fucking need Rock's ship to get there. Mordred starts to think about how would she get John to vacuo because there's no way in hell that she would let John dream of becoming a hunter to stop just because he got caught by a group of fucking sailors. Fuck them. Mordred, a voice called out to her again, but she is too into her planning to hear the voice calling out to her. If we go by land, it would take a long while. I don't exactly have a map nor do I memorize the map, but John probably already have a plan either way for it. Maybe it would take us almost a month if we include the time that we would get lost cause fuck me. We would certainly get lost. She then nodded to herself. Mordred, the voice let out a sigh. She's doing it again, isn't she? Yeah, she is doing it again. But I didn't know that she could do it without John here. That's new, another voice chime in. And that if we go by foot. Bullhead would be the best, but shit. How the fuck are we supposed to steal a bullhead? Not that I won't cause please. The great Mordred Ark could steal any bullhead she pleases. But a bullhead would be easy to track, I don't fucking know. Mordred then put a fist under her chin and rest her head there. And driving a bullhead isn't that hard anyway. Just grab the wheel and drive it like the video games. But I think it would be for the best if I leave that up to John. He probably would learn how to drive it faster than me. Here. Let me get her attention. The voice told the others before a hand reaches out and grabbed Mordred's shoulder, which instantly snapped her out of her thoughts and slapped the hand off her shoulder and activate her semblance on instinct because she thought that she was going to get attacked. But when she looked at the whose hand it belongs to, it turns out to be Miles. Don't fucking touch me. Mordred glared at her father before she deactivate her semblance off her body. Sorry. But the other was trying to get your attention and you were not answering them. Miles explained to Mordred, which made her raise her eyebrows in surprise. Really? She thinks to herself because she is sure that if somebody call out to her, she would know. Well, who was it anyway? Mordred asked and looked around the table before she stopped as Saffron coughed into her fist. Well, I was the one calling you, Mordred. But you were stuck inside your mind. Saffron then let out a soft chuckle. You're usually only like that if John is around. So what were you thinking about? Shit. Ain't no way that I'm like that. Mordred thinks to herself, but she didn't plan to say it out loud because she knew that if she did, well, her sisters would use it as ammunition to tease her. Mordred then leaned back on her seat and relaxed. So what do you want? She asked Saffron. Well, I wanted to ask if you know where John is. Saffron told Mordred, which only made Mordred look at Saffron weirdly. And how the fuck would I know where he is? Mordred frowned her eyebrows at Saffron. Do I look like I would always know where the fuck he is? Yeah. Saffron answered Mordred. Jean then chimed in before Mordred can reply to Saffron, well. You are always with him. Yeah. You and John are like twin. Like me and Blanchard. Isn't that right, Blanchard? Noir used her elbow to nudge Blanchard, who nodded in agreement. You know, Mordred. Sometimes I felt that you're more like John's mother than I am with how much you cared about him. Her mother also decided to chime in with a soft smile on her face. So Mordred. You do know where John is, right? Mordred wanted to retort about how would she know where John is or deny it, but she can't exactly deny it considering that she do know where John is. Well, where is supposed to be in? Which is on the docks. Hopefully he is just late cause there are more shit to store rather than he getting caught. Well. Yeah, I know where he is. Mordred let out a sigh of defeat. Fuck off. So, where he is then? We are waiting for him before we can start dinner. Saffron asked Mordred once again. He's at the docks helping Rock carry some supplies. Mordred answered her. Should she answer that truthfully? They could put two and two together when John is missing. But she knows that John would answered honestly about the fact that he was at the docks, and it's not like it's a secret to whoever's seen John in the docks helping around. So yeah. She thinks that it's safe to tell them this shit. Oh. That's good then. Saffron then nodded to herself. He'll probably come home soon. A few minutes had passed and Mordred once again is stuck inside her mind, making Saffron chuckled. She's at it again. Jean told her mother. Luna nodded. Yeah. She must be thinking something important then, 'cause this is unusual. John's not here and she's like this. Noir then perked up on her seat with a mischievous smile of my face. Blanchard. Look at this. She then take a deep breath before she shouted, Mordred. To the shock of the others, Mordred is still stuck inside her mind, completely unbothered by Noir's high-pitched shout. Damn. Saffron couldn't help but say to herself. After that whole fiasco, they continued talk to themselves for a few minutes waiting for John to come home, and when he did, he nodded to them as a greeting and sit next to Mordred as usual and put a hand on her shoulder. Mordred. Mordred instantly looked at John and nodded at him. John. What took you so long? John hummed and prepared his own plate of food, considering that Mordred's already prepared his plates before he came here. Mrs. Nina needed some help with the pipes. So I had to go to her house and quickly fixed it. What? You're a plumber now? Mordred shakes her head and let out a chuckle. The others look at Mordred in surprise because how the fuck did John manage to get her attention that easily? And when Miles put a hand on Mordred's shoulder, she instantly activated her semblance. But not John. Jean was about to ask John something, but she stopped herself because she knows that it's a foolish endeavor considering that John and Mordred is already stuck in their own world with how they talk to each other. Saffron put a hand on Jean's shoulder and give her a soft smile. Hey. Ask John later. You know how those two are. Yeah. I guess so. Okay, you already prepared all of your shit, John? Mordred asked John as soon as she closed the door to his room. Yeah. I did. John reached under his bed and pulled out his bag that is filled with clothes, emergency ration calorie bars, which Mordred bought from the town with the excuse of she wanting to buy it cause she want go camping, a few stuff here and there, his personal hygiene, and most importantly a couple months worth of liens that John had saved up and also from Mordred's savings too. Mordred then stay silent before she sit of his bed. John. I really think that you should bring either my scroll or your scroll just in case. John look at her, join her on the bed. Mordred. We talked about this before. I know. But still, John. Just for emergency. Mordred tried to convince John even further, but when she looks at John's face, she sigh in defeat. You know why I can't. If I do bring either of our scroll, Dad could easily track it with his connection with Headmaster Ashbin. And even if I bring your scroll, it would only give me at most 5 days worth of time before the other realized that you're using my scroll and Dad decided to track down your scroll. But what if? What if I want to talk to you? Mordred asked John softly because she really do want to talk to him. She doesn't want to have zero communication from him for God knows how long. John look at her before he tell her something that absolutely break her heart into pieces. Mordred. Just say the word and I'll scrap my whole plan to run away to Vacuo. John looked away from her. Just tell me to stay and I'll stay. Does she want him to stay? Yes. Yes, she does. She doesn't want to live without John. She doesn't want John to leave her to fucking Vacuo of all places and not being able to see him for years. But would she ask him to stay and destroy his dream? Fuck no. She won't. She's not like her father. She would rather jump off a cliff than force John to stay. Her eyes starts to water but she quickly blink her tears away and hugged John. John. God fuck, I want you to stay with me, John. I want to. But I won't. I also want you to he a hunter, John. She can feel John begin to shake in her hold and she hold him even tighter to her body. So no. I won't ask you to stay. But please, John. Don't ever forget about me. Please. She then feel John's arms start to wrap around her as he return her hug. I won't even forget about you, Mordred, and when I finally got into shade, I'll use the CCT tower and call you, okay? Mordred nodded. Okay, I'll believe you. After a few moments, Mordred tightened her hold on John. John. Can we cuddle for a while? Please. John nodded and they then lay down on the bed and start to cuddle for what would be the last chance they could before they would separate for years to come. It has been close to 5 hours after dinner before John and Mordred wake up from their cuddle session. What time is it? Mordred asked John, which prompted him to look at his bedside clock and read the time. It's 12:30 in the night now. The others are probably asleep. John tell Mordred before he get off the bed and out on his shoes. You're about to get Grandpa John's sword? Mordred asked John as she grabbed his bag and sling it over her shoulder. Yeah. I need a weapon to fight the Grimms, and we did checked a week ago to confirm that Grandpa John's sword and sheath is in the attic. John then go to his door. True. True. Mordred then open the window and perch on it. I'll wait for you outside. You'll know where to find me. John nodded and he sees Mordred jumped off the window and land silently. Okay, John. Here goes nothing. John psyche himself up before he sneak out of his own room into the hallway before he stop and use low-level reinforcement on his ears and eardrum to listen closely and check if anyone is awake or not. He can hear the soft snore of all of his siblings and his parents too. But he also heard the sound of pen gliding on paper, which could only meant that Saffron is still awake. That is bad. But John can work with this. All he need to do is make as little noise as he can and not alert Saffron. He then look at the ceiling and see the pull for the attic ceiling ladder, and he then jump as silently as he can and pull it down. Thankfully the ladder is a simple wooden folding ladder rather than the more modern metal folding ladder, which would make too much sound especially at night. John then climbed up the ladder as silently as he can. He slowly and surely pull the ladder and ceiling door close. John stays silent and used reinforcement on his ears again to check if Saffron notice anything or not, but thankfully it looks like Saffron is still writing without being alerted by the noise of the ladders. Good. John then walked to the pile of boxes in the attic before he slowly pushed the boxes to the side until he finally reached where his father stored crochets on a metal case. John grabbed the case and opened it before he grabbed the family's heirloom. Crochets. The family's heirloom that is passed down from arc to arc. From father to son. For generations, crochets had been passed down from the patriarch to his heir until Miles stopped it by not accepting crochets when his father offered it to him. Miles' reasoning was that crochets isn't suited for him because he is more comfortable with a greatsword rather than a bastard sword. And also the fact that his own father still used it as his main weapon. John pulled crochets out of its mecha shift sheath and start to examine it. It's perfect for my current size. But I think I would need to upgrade the blade when I'm older. The blade is the usual size of a bastard sword, and currently when John holds it, it feels much longer and bigger than a bastard sword, considering that John is only 12 years old and not an adult. But when John grows older, the sword will not be long enough for John liking and need to be upgraded to make it slightly longer than a long sword. John then grabbed the sheath and see a belt for his arm to go through, and so he did. He equipped the sheath on his arm. So, how do I turn this into a shield? I know it can turn into one. John pondered to himself before he shake the shield quickly, and it unfurled into a kite shield. Oh. That's stupid. What if I accidentally shake it and it unfurled while on my waist? John looked at the shield a little bit disappointed before he shakes it again and it turned back into a sheath. It does need a little force to shake it activate the mecha shift sequence. But still. It's dangerous. John then put the sheath on his waist by slipping it in between his belt before he sheath his sword. The sheath is pretty heavy even without the sword inside of it, but John decided to just get used to the weight because he will use this weapon for the next few years. That should be good enough if I need to pull out the shield quickly. But I don't think I'll use the shield function. I never used a shield before. John talks to himself before he walked to the attic's window and opened the latch. Well, I guess I'll learn how to use a shield too, I guess. Would be a waste to not know how to use it. He then jumped off the window and landed as silently as he can on the ground before he walked to where Mordred was. Which is behind a tree about 200 meters down the road to the town. Took you long enough. Mordred smirked and walked up to John. That looked good on you, she complimented John before they walked side by side to the town. Thank you. John then offers his hand to Mordred so she can give him his bag back, but Mordred shakes her head. No, let me just carry this for you, John. She then walked a bit faster, which forced John to catch up to her. Please. John looked at her before he nodded. Okay. The walk to the town was silent to say the least. John have so much thing he wanted to talk about with Mordred but not enough time for it. While Mordred stayed silent because she doesn't know if the next word that comes out of her mouth would be her sobbing or her crying. So she decided to be quiet as to not burden John with more emotional baggage. After a few minutes of sneaking around the town through the alleys and whatnot, they finally arrived at the dock where the ship is. This is it then, John. Mordred gave the bag to John, which John accepted and put it on. Yeah. John then looked at Mordred and see her closing her eyes. The first step to becoming a hunter. Mordred's mouth trembled as she is holding herself back from crying. Yes. And. Mordred tried to speak but the words won't come out of her mouth as tears starts to stream down her face. Mordred. John called out to her and hug her as tight as he can. Fuck him, John. Fuck him. If he didn't stop you, you wouldn't need to do this. Mordred starts to cry onto John's shoulder as she hug him back. I know. Please, John. Take care of yourself. She pulled John closer to her as if she want to engulf him with her hug. I will. John replied to her as he pat her back trying to calm her down. And John. I'll save a spot for you, okay? After I graduate, I'll work hard and rent an apartment for us too, and after you graduate, you can join me, okay? We'll be the dream team. The best duo Remnant had ever seen. She hugged John even tighter and she can feel that John had also start to cry too from the wet spot she can feel.